You are live. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Oh, my God. What a way to start the year. Oh, Happy New Year, everybody. Most definitely our thoughts are with those poor people in New Orleans. So, unbelievable. Let's just hope it gets better, folks. Let's hope it gets better. So good to see you, everybody. Shall we just get on with it? There is a lot to do. Let's just get on with it. Okay, let's get these guests out. Okay, so let me have a look. Okay. The channel's very own Astro. Yes, nice and depressed. Sorry. Our very own astromech droid, folks. It is Professor Artoo. You're up, Prof.
Doing well. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, my friend. You're right, yes.
Yes, doing great. Doing great.
Shall we just get on with it? Yeah.
Get them on. Get everybody on. Let's get 'em out there.
Okay. Stepping in at the last moments, it is the wonderful, he's done very well for himself, the 2025 Helpdesk.
Hello, once again a year where I don't know the words to Auld Lang Syne.
Well, fancy seeing you here. That's what? 4 times in 4 times?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not complaining.
How you doing, dude? You all right?
Pretty good. Just got my energy drink and
Nice.
chilling out.
Happy New Year, my friend.
And Happy New Year to you too, Mr. Bruton.
Shall we get the next peep out? Yes. Okay.
Is it Shooty?
Not this week. Not this year.
Okay.
I'm sure Shooty will be at some point. It is our next guest, the Sausage King of Chicago, Deeply of the Melvin. And my mouse has died. Hold on. Hello.
Hello. How are we doing, people?
Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year, Mr. Brun, Mr. Artoo, Mr. Desk.
Hello.
Mr. Desk.
Mr. Desk.
Mr. Desk. Mr. Creosote.
And a fantastic desk I am.
4 legs, everything.
Just
All
be the best damn desk you can be.
Melvin, I appreciate you stepping in, my friend. Great to have you on the panel this evening.
Happy to be here.
Okay, shall we get the next peep out?
As long as it's somebody good.
Good
You know
night,
the
everybody.
rules.
Good night.
Good night. I'll give you a clue, everybody. Oh.
Elvis.
No, he left years ago, he did.
He left the building.
I'll give you another clue.
Vex.
It's... Oh, we've got a new one coming in. Good luck, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Happy New Year.
fine. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. It's Jenna Coleman. It's going to be a good year, guys. It really is. I think. Got to be optimistic about these sort of things. So there you go. And it's shit.
Can't
You're
be much
supposed
worse
to
than
be
last year.
optimistic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say got to be. You're supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, until it gets to the middle of the year and you think, is this shit? Yeah. Yeah.
Right, okay. So, chat, we can see you. We can see you. Very animated this evening. Happy New Year and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, what are we going to do first? Should we do these? Should we get these Christmas movies up and running, as it were?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
Die Hard's going to win. That's my prediction.
Irie. Santa Claus is in town.
Arise, Sam.
Come on.
Please. It'll be the last time we see Santa this year.
Yeah.
Well, it won't, will it? Because Christmas is this year still to come.
I
Don't
saw we
blink.
did that.
Ooh, very
Don't
good.
blink.
For this seasonal run, shall we say?
This month.
We are. I should say we are pushing for 1 subscriber this week that doesn't subscribe. Still going down. I give up.
You must be
Please,
doing
like,
something wrong. or maybe not.
He's not showing enough leg.
That's probably what it is.
Maybe
I blame the panel. I really do.
I've been told I need to show boob on the thumbnails.
God, please don't.
I've been saying that for years. I mean, you
He's-
got
I
like
know,
this
He has.
hideous race baiting Santa Claus on like the last 6 thumbnails. It's like, put some boobs on it. Even Haley Atwell's, as long as you cover her face.
Put some boobs on Santa?
No, Reg. Where's probably with his Bailey's unavailable? He's got his mummy staying with him. And we're on too early.
Show
Man
bobs.
boobs.
Bobs and boobs is different things, I think.
Like, share, subscribe. Please, you know the rule, folks. If any YouTuber has taken the time to entertain you, you've got to press the thumbs up. Donate the channel. Memberships are open or available. Oh, the last time, Ian, for this season. Yeah.
No, Daddy. No.
That's never going to get old.
No. He looks
It's
evil.
for you, Damien.
He looks evil, man. Ah, well. Merry Christmas.
Possibly this year, I might try and watch The Omen.
The Omen.
Although
I prefer The Exorcist, tell you the truth.
That was that 50 something, 51 years old a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
I've never watched The Exorcist.
It's really good. It's a really good film. It really is. It's probably the best horror film ever made. In my
I think
opinion.
I've said this before, right? Here's what I was told about it. I was told it wasn't scary, it was just disgusting.
Well, I think by today's standards, it's not scary, but
I don't know.
But as a Catholic myself, you know, it was scary because it does involve the religion and stuff like that. So,
there was one of the sequels. I think it was number 3 with
Heretic.
George C. Scott.
yeah, that was okay.
That was a good one. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that
I
one.
like that one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, let's get these Crimbo movies put to bed then. Okay, so we did round one the other day.
Die Hard.
So, Die Hard, folks. Perhaps a sentence from each of you. Prof?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I keep dropping in and out. So if I just suddenly disappear, you'll know what happened. Yes, Die Hard, a fantastic movie and a fantastic Christmas movie at that. Every year we watch this one around Christmas time. It's, it's just a great movie to start with. As action movies go, it was the template for action movies for a decade or more. Everything was always Die Hard on something, right? Die Hard on a plane, Die Hard on a boat, whatever. It's such a well scripted movie. It has just some of the best overall just writing and consistency in the script. Every little thing that happens pays off later in the film, and it's just wonderful. I enjoy watching this movie so much, and definitely a great pick.
Ian?
There's a lot. Yes, it's a really good machine of a film. It does come across as a machine. Do you know what I mean? Like everything keeps moving, the cogs keep moving, everything's connected to everything. It's quite funny because originally they wanted Arnie, and then they went for Sylvester Stallone and went for all these big ones. But the constant thing all of them kept saying was the reason why they didn't do it is because they thought the character got hurt too much, and they thought he was too vulnerable. And so that's why they turned it down, especially Arnie. Because if you remember in those days, action films they were pretty invincible, let's face it, the characters. And then they did this film, and then everything changed in action movies. And plus, it was released in the summer. It wasn't released around about Christmas time or anything like that. It was.
I think it was November in the UK, because I think I've just been to university.
I think in America it was released in the summer, and it was a summer blockbuster, wasn't it? And it is a pretty good film. It's great
film.
all the way through it, as far as I'm concerned. I love Bruce Willis's character. I love how he gives the one-liners and stuff like that, and it introduced us to the guy who plays Hans Gruber,
Alan Rickman. Yeah,
Alan Rickman.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
And he basically made the villain something more than a villain, and then every film started copying that type of villain.
Yeah. He wasn't
So
he wasn't just twisting, twirling his mustache, right? He was something much more.
So this film was a trendsetter when it came to action movies. So Die Hard has a very special place in my heart because it's an original action film as far as I'm concerned. And yes, I consider it a Christmas movie. I don't care what anyone says. So there you go.
Internet. Sorry, desk.
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 Hello, I am Desk. I like Die Hard as a movie. For me, the sign of a good movie is the fact that you can just say a line from it and people know exactly which movie you're talking about. You can just drop into conversation. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. And people know it's Die Hard. It is that good of a movie.
Yeah. Has a lot of quotes.
Absolutely.
Melvin?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Mother.
Yippee-ki-yay, you nasty sod. What can I say about Die Hard? It is one of the best 5 or 6 Die Hard movies.
It is. You're not wrong.
It will go down in history as Bruce Willis in a vest 1. It embraces everything we love about Christmas, like explosions, terrorists, buildings on fire, helicopters, the FBI, death, dismemberment, bleeding feet, everything we love about Christmas.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What else can I say? Great movie. Fantastic movie.
It is.
I think it was released in the US in July, and it was general release in Britain in February the following year. Yes.
Wow. Why was I thinking November? Unless I'm getting.
Do you know?
Well, Lance was talking about it. He said he had early screenings or something.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what's interesting about the movie is it always makes me laugh when he comes through the foyer and the guy says, look on the computer. And then when he presses the screen, it's all those blocky letters, isn't it? It's like really dated, isn't it? It makes me laugh.
I really like this movie purely, as I said the other day, because of the exploding kneecaps with the squibs. Gets me every time. That's so. It's great.
Very Christmassy. There's nothing more Christmassy than an exploding kneecap.
And that's the 20th Century Fox building, isn't it? That they used. That
was Fox Plaza at the time.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Die Hard, everybody. Bad Santa.
I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as everybody likes it.
It was a good laugh the one time I watched through it. I've never been back to it.
Yeah, nor have I.
If it was on TV and it was there, I'd probably go okay, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. If you know what I mean. But
I think it's
it.
mean spirited.
It is.
That's what it is, and that's the thing that takes me a step back from it.
I've had a bleep.
You had?
Oh
my lord! He's turned up.
It's a puppet.
It's a puppet.
I just saw it. I think you gave me the link the second you went live.
I know it was emergency sending of link, and you stepped.
I was your highest priority. That's what you're saying.
Thank you, my friend.
He needed to send up the price of reason signal.
The puppet signal.
Yes.
Do you know what? I was thinking about you a couple of days, Price. I saw a video of Leslie Headland, and I didn't realize how many tattoos she's got. She's like Popeye the Sailor Man, but like dialed up to 11 or something like that. Look at those tattoos on. She looks awful now.
I don't think she had those tattoos then. I really don't. I'm trying to think about it, and I unless they were somehow cleverly covered up, I don't think she had all those tattoos then.
Wow.
What about the second time you saw her, Price, with the second party?
I didn't recognize her. I didn't recognize her in the.
Oh, was another time. You kept that quiet.
There was a second time, yes, but the second time, what I said is that I was okay. I was at some kind of. This is a true story. I was at a cocktail party about
Suck it up,
10
baby.
years after initially meeting her, which means that it was probably, I don't know what, 8 years
Oh,
ago.
you've told this story before. Yeah, I know this. You've told this one.
And what happened is that there weren't a lot of people at this cocktail party, and there were some people taking pictures there. And later, initially when I looked at the pictures, I had recognized the people that I saw at the party that night. And then only years later, I'm talking about after I knew that she was all the acolyte and all this stuff, I once happened to run into those pictures again, and I saw the event, and suddenly it was like a detective movie. Suddenly Leslie Headland is at the event. And it turns out that at that point, I just didn't recognize her. She was already with her wife, the one that was on the acolyte. You could see like a picture of them both there. But at that point, she kind of started resembling more the Leslie Headland of later. And at the event, I simply didn't recognize her. I didn't know who she was.
I thought you were going to say you accidentally placed your mug of beer on top of her head or something.
No, but it's weird because I didn't have any I didn't even know that she was at the event. It only took years later that I actually found pictures of me at this event, and suddenly I saw a picture of her at the event.
Ah, well. Wow. Never mind.
Were you dressed as a puppet with the big
No,
orange
I was
knit?
dressed. I had like a sort of suit. I think I was dressed. I had kind of maybe a jacket on, and I think
Okay.
Price. Have you ever thought of doing merchandise? Because I reckon there's people in the chat right now who would buy one of them plushies.
Yeah.
Like a crocheted Admiral Akbar, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what? First of all, I'd want it to kind of be a bit different than that, because I don't want it to be 100% like an Akbar. But
you get sued.
Right. And so something different. But yeah, I'm open to it. I just don't really know how to get that done. But it's not a bad idea.
Okay. Going back to Bad Santa.
May we quickly just go price? Why is Die Hard the best Christmas movie?
Why do you like Die Hard?
Because it's like one of the best action movies ever made. It's like the Godfather of action movies, and it's happening at Christmas time. What could be better than that?
I'll do. Okay, so Ian,
just saying that Bad Santa, Bernie Mac, he doesn't resonate over in the UK as much as he does in the States. I mean, I've heard of him. I've seen him in a couple of things, but when I was watching the movie, he didn't come across as funny to me. I guess it's an American thing with that guy. I don't know. You Americans can.
You saying Americans aren't funny?
No, I'm just saying I didn't find him funny. And also, everybody kept saying,
is it because he's
dead, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
he did. Yeah, he passed away in 2008.
Wrenched a Price T-shirt saying, "I went to Headland."
I've just stuck it in the chat. I went to Headland and all I got was this stupid T-shirt.
I have to.
Nice one.
I have to say that I kind of understand what you're saying. It was Mega Geek that said that he didn't love Bernie Mac's humor, right?
No, it's not that I don't like his humor; it's that I didn't get it. And actually, throughout the years, I realized how big he was in the States. But in England, he doesn't resonate at all.
Even in the States, I'll tell you that there have been many people for years that have always told me how much they liked him, and I respect that. But most of the time, I feel like his humor. Sometimes a person has a certain humor, and it doesn't exactly connect with me. Yeah. Meaning, Eddie Murphy, when he was in Beverly Hills Cop, made me laugh. I thought that was funny. Bernie Mac, whatever he does, isn't 100%. I think that Dave Chappelle is funny. Meaning, sometimes you have people doing a certain style of comedy, it's funny. Somehow, Bernie Mac, for me, it wasn't. It's like I'm not on the same wavelength.
I think Eddie Murphy's is universal. His humor is universal. I think Bernie Mac's, I don't know, because like he was in the Charlie's Angels film, wasn't he? He played Bosley, didn't he?
Well, he replaced Bill Murray, who was annoyed and didn't want to come back. So
and I didn't find him funny in that.
No, I mean, I even felt bad a bit for Bill Murray that he had to be in it, but at least he was Bill Murray. Bernie Mac replacing Bill Murray I don't really think he brought anything to the
There
table.
you go. Adam Gray, Wrenched. Hello, my friend. Bernie Mac was the best part of Ocean's 11.
See, the thing is that's what I'm saying. He wasn't for me in that
Okay.
film. It was, you know, again, he was trying to be humorous, but I didn't laugh at anything that he said. I'm pretty sure the Americans did, but I didn't. Just saying
I
over
wouldn't.
here
I
is not-
wouldn't put this on all Americans. I think that he has a certain style of humor that some people
Right.
connect to and some people don't.
Right, I got you.
I mean,
Okay.
listen, Adam Sandler is a guy that some people like see him and kind of chuckle from his movies, and some really dislike him. So you never really know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know a person's humor. It's probably not going to always tickle everybody's funny bone.
Look, I don't want to point fingers here, right? But
You're
Adam
gonna-
Sandler's American as well.
Not
I think you
funny
got to
at all.
take the responsibility here. It's definitely the Americans.
Not funny.
We can't blame the Chinese this time.
I know. I
Right,
find
thanks.
Adam Sandler
Right.
quite funny, actually. You know, his early work I found quite funny.
I
That's what I'm
agree with
saying.
you. I agree with you, especially his early movies. But I know
Yeah.
people that think, "Oh, this guy is just like I don't like his humor." I know that. I know people like that too. I guess what I'm saying is, comedy is something that what you hope as a comedian that you'll do something that the most people will find it funny. I think that Bernie Mac had a certain style. I'm considering saying something, but perhaps it'll be controversial.
Yeah.
Perhaps more targeted to a very specific audience. How do I say this?
People of color.
Right, but not even just people of color. People of color from like a certain, angle that they're looking for something very specific. I think that he was.
I see.
Okay,
Well, I'm sorry I brought it
yes,
up.
we do. Okay. Can we get back to the movie?
Sure.
Or we'll be here all year. Okay. So Bad Santa. Thoughts?
It's
all
a
right.
one shot. It's all right, but you wouldn't
It's
want to
all
watch
right.
it more than once.
It's all right.
Okay. I remember I enjoyed it when I watched it
Yeah.
because it was kind of an anti-Christmas movie and it kind of tickled me a little bit. To my
The thing
dark
is, though,
side.
it was I agree. It was a
Possibly.
one-shot thing. You can't. When they repeated it, the second one, I didn't think the second one was funny at all.
Okay,
because
so
obviously it was,
definitely a
yeah.
one and done. Okay, so
Yeah, that's what I thought.
that's Bad Santa, everybody.
Love this film.
Merry New
Awesome
Year!
Great
Love
movie.
this
Merry
film.
New
Great
Year.
movie.
It's been a while since I've seen this one, but
Same.
yeah,
Fantastic
I didn't-
movie.
very fun.
I
and
didn't
it's
get to
still
shit on Bad Santa.
it still
feel like
holds
it's
up
still
in my
true.
opinion. Even if you put it on now, I'll still find it enjoyable even after all
Yeah.
these years. I think the performances here are great, and I think also that there's even a subject matter that's addressed here, and even a concept that still feels relevant today, even though it's
Yes.
obviously taking place in the 80s.
But this film was made for Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. It was penned for them, and obviously throughout the years they couldn't find the money, and then obviously they, one of them got sick or whatever, and one of them died, and then they had to replace them. And Saturday Night Live was calling, and Eddie Murphy was the biggest star of the time, together with Dan Aykroyd, and the rest is history. So there you go.
I think the issue with Richard Pryor was that he did a lot of white snow thing, and then he set himself on fire for some
did, yeah.
unexplainable reason, and then it was difficult to put him in a movie for a while.
Yes,
But
it
that was after this, wasn't it? I mean, that was a long time after this was made. This was the early 1980s.
I think it was before.
I think right before this, he may have done the activities that I just described.
Yeah, but the setting on fire thing, I think that was long.
was
Let's see.
it?
Let me Google when did he do this. Keep talking.
Lionel Joseph. I like that scene. Do you remember
Lionel Joseph.
Irie.
Hey.
I think that Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder would have been better in this than these two. Not that there's anything wrong with these two, but I think Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder worked really well together, and they were both very funny.
Denham Elliott was fantastic in it as well.
Yeah, what a scumbag. Yeah. It would have been a very different movie if those two had did it.
By the way, he set himself on fire in 1980. This movie was filmed, I think, in 1982. So I think that it's fair to say that he didn't help the casting here.
Can I just
because he was in Superman 2 after this, wasn't it? Or Superman
3.
3, sorry.
He was in
Superman 3.
Superman 3. I don't know how he got that one, but let me see for a second. That was after this movie.
Yeah, he got that
Superman
one
3.
because he went on a chat show and he was saying how great Superman the movie was, and then the producers saw him and they kind of offered him a part. It was meant to be Eddie Murphy. No, that was Star Trek, wasn't it? Eddie Murphy wanted to be in Star Trek. Yeah.
Prof, we'll do that in a minute. Yes.
He's right, though. 1983 did the same year they released Superman 3, and he was in that, but for some reason he wasn't in this.
Is question then? I just thought: is Trading Places a masterpiece?
No.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
I don't know if
It's a great comedy, though. It's
a
very
really
enjoyable.
really good movie. I don't know. Masterpiece is a very strong word, but I would say that it's a really good movie.
Do you know what makes? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
I said, do you know the reason why it works so well is because of the director,
John Landis.
John Landis. John Landis's humor was riding high at that moment in time. It's very similar to the Blues Brothers humor. There's even a scene when Eddie Murphy actually looks, breaks the fourth wall and looks at the audience when they're talking about how things work, with the
they were talking about like a ham sandwich or something.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so I'm saying I think John Landis's humor was very prevalent in this, and also together with the
Very
combined
well
talent
well filmed
of Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. That's what excelled the film. All three of them.
Hey, who's here? Probably you coming on?
Probably.
Probably. Do you want a link? Probably. Do you want a link? Say yes.
So that's why I think this film is great, because I laughed at every gag in this film. When I was in the cinema, I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Don't know about you guys.
One of the bits I love about this movie is the fact when they were doing the stock trading bit, it was with some extras at the World Trade Center Commodity Exchange.
Yeah.
When they came down, they performed it on a weekday during actual trading, and it caused so much disruption. There was a loss of about $6 billion.
What?
They were paying so much attention to the stars of the movie that it caused about a $6 billion loss.
Damn. Okay, so that is Trading Places.
Yeah.
I just confirmed, by the way, that the reason that they removed Pryor from the running was because he set himself on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was injured.
Dear.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not only the injury; they just didn't. It's what led him to set himself on fire.
That was also a bit of an issue.
Okay, I'm getting requests here. I'm spinning plates, folks, and I'm not doing very well. No. Wrenched at Mr. Brown Lines. That's me. Please thank Price for bringing up Children of the Stones. I watched it, and it was good to see Blake in something other than Blake 7.
Rog Blake.
He's in that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he used to star in a lot of kids stuff. He did.
Yeah.
That's high praise indeed, Price, from No.
No, I thought it was a mistake that he brought up Children of Stone, because none of us knew what it was.
Nobody had any faith in me, and the reason why it was especially embarrassing is because it's kind of you're supposed to be knowledgeable about it.
We had a lot of very strange children's TV shows in sort of like the 70s and 80s. There was one called Dark Season, which involved a computer trying to take over children's minds in a school.
Yeah.
That was
Mobile phones.
Was that Russell T. Davies?
Russell T. Yeah.
It was
starring Kate Winslet.
Yeah,
Kate Winslet was in it.
But and then there was Century Falls, which was just batshit crazy. Sort of like possession of a witch and stuff, and then a pregnant lady getting the baby turned into a demon in the last episode. It was weird. These were children's
That
shows.
happened to me once.
But it's the fact that they were kid shows. I'm not surprised we can't remember all.
Jockey.
I mentioned that one too, and that one was fantastic. I really liked Jockey.
You're absolutely right. In those days, they really had some weird kids shows, and used to scare the hell out of us when we were growing up.
Well written.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
But, I say an evil computer taking over children's minds as Android phones. It's come true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Trading Places, everybody. A really, really, really good movie.
Sorry, carry on.
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year. Die Hard 2. Die Harder.
Okay. Panel thoughts.
I like this film. Go on.
It has its flaws, but I still like it, even if it is flawed.
It is a lot of fun, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It is
there's
fun,
a-
yeah.
There's a
Yes.
poll running now, folks.
I saw
vote
this
for
on
your
Christmas Day. I watched it on Christmas Day this year, and you know what? It still holds up. It's bat crazy and it's very stupid, but it's so enjoyable. It
Yeah.
Right.
really is.
Yeah.
It is, I
Incredibly
agree.
enjoyable.
It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot of fun, and they do play up the fact that this is happening again.
Yeah.
And kind of all the same kind of things happening to him again. Over in the film, but it has enough variation and it changes the formula enough and does enough with it that it's a really enjoyable movie on its own. Yeah, it definitely has its flaws, but it's a fun one.
The one thing I noticed though about Die Hard 2 is how much this director Rennie Harlan copied the other director's work. Like for instance,
McTiernan,
yeah. So you remember in the first one when we were introduced to what's his name, the main villain, Gruber. You remember how we were introduced to him? The van turns up, it pulls up, then the thing opens, and all the men start piling out. And as they're walking, they separate, and we were introduced to Hans Gruber. In this one, it's the same thing. They're all in a hotel room, and the guy's naked.
Very choreographed. It's
and they all open the doors, and as they're walking,
really
we're
good.
introduced to, you know what I mean? So he did copy a lot from the first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
The fact that he's naked and kind of doing these
Yeah, it's crazy.
exercises at the beginning, it's
Yeah.
kind of
It's
interesting.
Didn't they
Weird,
kind of
yeah.
steal that scene from Apocalypse Now?
Yes, they did. So that's what I'm saying.
Probably.
He copied a lot of people. Yeah, and the thing that always makes me laugh, guys, is the bit where McClane's under this thing and he's near the escalator and the gun's there and he presses the thing and you can tell that other guy could get to the gun before McClane. But McClane gets to it. That always makes me laugh because they exaggerate the distance between them both. But anyway.
It's thanks to this movie that we have the Terminator, Robert Patrick in the Terminator.
Oh yeah, he was in it. Yeah.
Because this was really his first role when he's
it
in
was.
this movie, and I think that opened some doors for him. Without this, he probably wouldn't have been even considered for Terminator 2.
And he had one line in the whole of the film. Could anybody tell me what that line was?
A sitting duck or something.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have a mightily generous donation from the magnificent Mog Wrench, by the way. Gifted 10 Mr. Brown Alliance memberships. Wow.
Nice.
Very
amazing.
generous.
Well,
Wow. Cheers, Mog.
Who is
Round of
Mog?
applause.
Is Mog Swappers?
No, it's Mog. Mog's Mog.
Mog's a real person. He's not.
Yeah,
Swappers,
Mog's
and
Mog,
and he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Ruin. Are you sure?
No, Mog's Mog.
And he's not Probby.
No, it's Mog.
Okay, I believe you.
Thank you, Mog. Beyond generous. Thank you, my friend. Happy New Year.
You're a very generous individual, Mog. Merry Christmas.
Okay. So, anybody else? Die Hard 2? Anybody else? Anything to add?
Yeah, I'll add something.
You go.
I enjoyed Die Hard 2 more than the first one, even though I know the first one's a better film.
Yeah.
Melvin's just here to cause controversy. That's all he is. That's what he does. That's what he does.
As
I was
much
more
as,
entertained by the second, definitely.
as much as I really like Die Hard, I've got a bit of a soft spot for this one. I don't know why.
I have too, but but the first one is far superior than this.
Right, the first one is far superior. Melvin doesn't like Die Hard 1 or Margot Robbie.
No, I like Die Hard 1. Die Hard 1 is a very good movie, and it is better than Die Hard 2, but I found Die Hard 2 more entertaining.
Yeah, I totally understand that, Melvin.
Yeah,
Totally.
they turn up the fun a little bit. in
Yeah,
the
it's
second
funner.
one.
Okay, I'll give you that. If you want it
Okay.
funner, it's I think
Funner.
a shorter movie. It's more fun. It's shorter. I'll give you that.
I will say the special effects for the aircraft blowing up.
That's that.
Obviously-
ILM.
Yeah, obviously because fire and water, you have a sense of scale with fire and water. It gives away the true size of the effect. The effect for the aircraft blowing up, fantastic. Must have been a massive
Also,
aircraft.
It
I
was
did like the sub story with his wife on the plane with Dick and and all that stuff. That was quite a lot of fun as well.
Okay. So that's Die Hard 2. Sorry, Die Hard 2, everybody.
I was going to say, if I remember rightly, the foot. Sorry, I'll start again. The plane was a 12-foot model
Yeah.
And what they did was they filmed it at, I think it was 200 frames a second,
Ah, that's why.
and did the explosions really quickly. And then when you slow it down to 24 frames a second,
Oh, that's amazing.
it looks like something bigger
Yeah,
exploding
Yeah.
a lot slower.
ILM
The flames look a lot
on
bigger.
the
ILM did
on-
fantastic work on it.
Yeah,
on the
it gives
money.
it when you slow it down just a touch, it gives it some weight. It makes it
Yeah, it
actually
does.
feel like it's bigger and weightier than what it is, and yeah, it works really well.
bit
They
of-
did a
bit
very
of false
similar thing.
perspective. It's
Yeah, they did a very
amazing.
similar thing with the helicopter in the first one, with the model and blowing up and falling
Yeah.
onto the model of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
building.
The
Yeah.
part that was especially fun yet dumb was the thing that he's in the chopper and they throw the, or wherever you, with the ejector seat, and they throw the grenades in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
That's
that
a
is
terrible effect.
It's
terrible
silly.
effect. It
It's
doesn't
silly.
hold up. It's totally
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yet I remember the first time watching it back then, I was really entertained.
it's a
It
bit-
is. It is a
janky
very,
now.
very
It's a bit janky.
entertaining movie. I mean, it's so dumb. You just have to go with it. You know, there's some films that are dumb, right? Like some of
Right.
the action films that they put on Netflix today, are just ridiculously stupid, so you don't enjoy it. But this film is very enjoyable because of Bruce Willis and because of, I guess, the way the director handled everything. He knew that people were going to say, "What again?" So they just played into it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Okay. Okay, so there is a poll going, folks. Do you know, I think we may as well just close it. Or shall we?
well,
Okay,
what was the next
we got
one?
we got 62 votes. Shall we close? There's 110 watching, so shall we close it when we get to 70? So 7 votes to go, folks. So it's vote for your favorite: Die Hard, Bad Santa, Trading Places, Die Hard 2. It's not going to make a difference, but
How many rounds are you doing tonight?
I think it's quarterfinals. We'll see if we can get the quarterfinals done and see if we can get to the semi-finals.
So
yeah.
4 rounds tonight.
Yeah. Should we? We'll close. Should we close it? Yeah, let's close it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to close it, folks. Vote now.
Oh,
Or
we got
forever.
69 votes.
69.
Yeah, close it now, quick.
Yeah, on 69. Okay, so are the results going to show? Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Today.
Go on YouTube. Help my OCD.
They're showing on my end.
Okay, not
They're in
mine.
the chat. I can see them.
Come
They're in the
on.
chat, Bruin. The normal chat.
They are not on mine. They're not. Come
Well-
on, YouTube.
Do you want me to read?
Here we go. I've got it. Okay. I'm getting lag. Okay. So vote for your favorite was the question. Poll completed 69 votes. In last place, bringing up the rear, Die Hard 2 with 5%. Third place, Bad Santa, 7%. Second place, runner-up, Trading Places, 18%. And the winner, what a surprise, Die Hard, 68. Top 2 go through, folks.
To a
Which is-
total of 98%.
I was gonna say, yeah, that doesn't not getting to the 100% on that one. Yeah.
Okay, we got something to show, have we not, Prof?
Oh yeah, we're something's gonna go in the Mr. Brown shop here. We're working with Price to get those produced somewhere.
You're gonna get sued.
It can't look like this.
Yeah, come on. You'll get sued. You'll
Well,
get
you know,
sued.
it'll go through some iterations, some changes, but yeah.
It's a good idea, though.
It's not obvious what it is it?
Of course it is. Totally.
it?
Yeah.
As
You've
long
been
as you
sued
don't
for
put the
less, you
name on
know.
it. I mean, squids exist, so
People have been sued for less.
No,
just
the
say
way,
it's Cthulhu. It's Cthulhu.
the way you
Cthulhu.
see it in the avatar now, or the way I do in
Yeah,
my other
exactly.
streams, I think that
Yeah.
those are already different enough.
Oh yeah. You have to change it a little bit.
Okay. You need to sort the merch out, mate.
Yeah.
Should we do the next round of movies then? Yeah, let's do it.
Onward.
Lethal Weapon.
Who would like to go first?
It's a good movie.
Okay, I'll go first. This is I've never considered this a Christmas film actually until recently.
What?
Yeah, until recently. I do consider it a Christmas film now. I love this film. Do you know why? Because it was, I wouldn't say it kind of reinvented the buddy cop movie. Because I
Yeah.
think one of the very first ones was Freebie and the Bean, I think was one of the very first cop movies, buddy cop movie. But this film reinvented it. And Mel Gibson really brought something higher to it, in my opinion. I never heard of Danny Glover, but kind of instantly liked him when he first opened his mouth in this movie. And the action is very visceral, I found, very violent. And it was just a really good film. And it was just like one of those films that you really wanted to see what happens next and what happens next. And you really wanted Riggs to beat the crap out of Joshua at the ending as well. So, you know, I do really like this film a lot.
It's
So
the best Lethal Weapon movie.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, it is by far.
Yeah.
Most of us are older than Murtaugh.
Yeah, yeah. I actually got it for Christmas. I got the whole all of the Lethal Weapons in Blu-ray. My sister got it for me for Christmas, so I've yet to watch Lethal Weapon again. But yeah, it's a good film.
I think Murtaugh was only in his early 40s when he made this, and they were pretending he was older.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best Lethal Weapon film. I think. Well, okay, I should probably just shut up, right? But I think this is better than Die Hard. I can watch this again. I think I've seen Die Hard too many times.
I mean, it's a good movie. It's not like if you say, hey, I like Lethal Weapon, anybody could say anything bad. For me, I still prefer Die Hard, but this is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I can get somebody more shit than I'm going to get, right? The Gold King, he said this is shit. So I'm just outing somebody there. So
Well,
just,
he's wrong.
All right. Yeah.
So
that's one take, I suppose. I think it's a really enjoyable movie. It's got some really interesting characters and some great acting from both Glover and Gibson, and it's a fun story. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's a good movie. Good movie.
My mother, God bless her soul, loved this movie because we got it on the. It was one of those first that came out on the VHS £10 tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she loved it. Anybody else?
Well, considering I nearly got thrown off the stream last time I talked about Lethal Weapon, I'm going to be quiet this time. It's an okay movie. It's just not my thing, I guess.
Wow,
I know.
We've got a super chat, folks. Romeo Tango November Zulu wrenched World of Sports for 10 New Zealand dollar. Happy New Year, Brune and everyone. Let's try and focus on the positive for 2025. Set new goals. It's good advice. And keep moving forward. And if your day still needs brightening, Chuck Norris can kick you into the sun. You can. Happy New Year, my friend. We've got another super chat as well. M Duke 84 wrenched 2 Canadian woke dollars. Lethal Weapon 2 featured Patsy Kensit. Lovely.
Eyes.
binoculars.
Lovely pair.
I like Lethal Weapon 2 as well. That's a good movie. Is it not?
Yeah.
It's good, Lethal Weapon 2, but it feels a bit flimsy. And I thought that it was very random that they introduced that shoulder thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was very convenient.
Breaks his shoulder, yeah.
I think it's just one of them kind of films, though. It wasn't meant to be like, it wasn't meant to be like Serpico or anything. It was meant to be just all in an action movie. So, and again, it was the 1980s. 1980s films don't hold up to modern scrutiny.
Diplomatic community.
You know, most of the films that we loved in the 80s, if the YouTubers were reviewing them right now, they would say they're all shit because of the holes in the plots. But that's how the 80s was.
No, but even back in the day when I watched it, I could tell that the first one was more tightly written, and the second one there was something. Even before even studying film or knowing anything, I felt that there was something a bit more flimsy about it.
I thought after number 2, they really went downhill.
Yes. I agree with you that with every additional installment, it kind of became more flimsy. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of like that Rene Russo was in the third one, and he had a love interest. Didn't hate it. But by the time 4 came along, was that the one with Chris Rock? I think that really felt like they were losing their way there.
Jet Li. We had Bleepage, folks. Look who it is.
No, it's only your favorite late Antipodean. How's everyone doing?
Hey. Echo Chamberlain, everybody.
Good
Happy New Year,
morning.
Hey. Yeah, I was watching, I was delayed because I was watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is, everyone's favorite film. So kind of,
it's a great movie.
Love that one.
It's a shocker.
Well,
how are you doing, my friend? Good, yeah.
Good.
You good?
I think so. Yeah, it's good to...
You sure?
Well, yeah, it's all good to land in with you. I don't know why I'm so tired all the time. Like, I get to the end of the year and I have to pace around the room frustratedly going, will you just relax, for fuck's sake? Kind of hard to make yourself chill out.
What's January 2 like so far?
Mildly overcast, socio-politically stable, culturally fine. Yeah, I was up last night watching The Substance, which was pretty kinetic and visceral. So maybe that's why I couldn't get a wink of sleep.
We are doing favourite Christmas movies, Echo. Lethal Weapon, why is it a good Christmas movie?
Never seen it.
Good God.
Yeah.
What?
That makes it the best Christmas movie of all.
No. Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me.
Well,
the whole idea of the salt and pepper film with the white cop and the black cop, and doesn't really float my boat. Not my cup of tea.
Racial diversity sucks.
Not Brian. Wrenched. What a spot. The fuck?
Wait, hang on. This could be the night I out people. Brian didn't like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ah.
Not Brian, sorry. I don't want to get some guy called Brian in trouble. We're talking about not Brian. Yeah.
I've not said this for a while. Anonymous bastard. Wrenched. Happy New Year, my friend. Echo is just mad about the Australian.
Which one? There's a few of them knocking about.
Mel Gibson, I think.
Mel Gibson.
Oh, Mel Gibson, yeah.
Even though he's American, isn't he? He's American, isn't he?
If you want an hour of real pleasure, listen to the Oksana tapes, where he keeps ringing up his wife at the time about 20 years ago, and he's just he's going bananas, and he's throwing out racial epithets about black people and Hispanic people, and he's threatening to come around and hit her. It's hilarious. It's an hour of nonstop hilarity.
Welcome to 2025, courtesy of Echo Chamberlain.
I will say, in Mel Gibson's defense, if he was threatening to go around and hit his wife, she should watch your mouth. That's a joke. That's a joke, people. That's a joke.
Well, you can never if you hear that in a Scottish accent, you never quite know if it's a joke or not.
Where's Melvin?
It's true. I'd be offended, but it's true.
So, anything else to add then? Lethal Weapon, Ian, you're back.
Yeah, so another thing that we should know about Lethal Weapon is that that's an iconic poster, and after this film, almost every action film copied this kind of design for a poster.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true.
So, Echo, you wouldn't watch this for all the tea in China, would you?
Well, I just feel that the window has closed on this film for me.
What? Why?
Why?
No, just I'm curious. Why?
It's still a fun movie.
Why won't you watch this film?
Ian, it felt like you gave me both barrels there for a second.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
He's warming up. Don't worry.
I don't know. I feel like it would be too much of a strange time warp. Plus, Mel Gibson, the whole anti-Semitic stuff, doesn't sit particularly well. So,
you have to separate the artist from the bullshit that he says outside his art, basically. And if you watched it, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very entertaining movie. If you like violent cop movies, this is one for you. Yeah.
He invented kebabs.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's a little bit of presupposition there that if you like violent cop movies, this is the one for you.
What, you don't like violent cop movies?
Do I?
Yeah.
That's the question.
No.
Do you?
No. I don't think I do.
Well, Die Hard was a violent cop movie.
No, well, that's more of a no. That's separate. This is like buddy cop kind of dynamic stuff. Die Hard was more. That's a protagonist, a character, a relatable everyman more than a cop.
Are you a loner, Echo?
That's a bleak, dispiriting question to pitch at me. Yeah.
Let's say, if you are a loner, can you loan me a fiver?
Man, first Mega gets all cranky and attacks me for my genre choices, and then you pitch that at me.
Yeah, tell us about your childhood.
Okay, have we done with Lethal Weapon?
I'll throw something in that kind of mildly related.
Quickly then.
Like when it comes to separating the art from the artist, I can do it with just about everybody except Roman Polanski.
Oh yeah,
that's where I draw the line. I can't do it. I can't separate.
I agree with you there.
Everybody in Hollywood kissing his ass, it outrages me. It makes me angry.
Okay,
I agree 100%.
Echo, we've got a question coming in.
Oh man, someone else want to get into the deeper recesses of my psychology?
Anonymous bastard wrenched. But did Echo watch Braveheart?
I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I've never seen it.
Really?
I'm still not understanding why you won't watch it. Is it because you're Jewish?
Well, are you talking about Lethal Weapon?
Yeah.
Part Jewish, yeah.
Oh, I see. Then I understand now. I understand now. Definitely understand. Yeah. Don't blame
That's why Gina Carano, I'm also in a slightly different boat when it comes to her.
Right.
Let's not bring the tone down.
I can't watch The Exorcist because I'm part Catholic.
No, I'm Catholic. I watched it. No, I totally understand, mate. Sorry, I didn't get it.
I think though, I can't believe I'm weighing in on this. I think that with Gina Carano, I don't feel like she had bad intentions when she posted whatever she posted. At worst, you could have told her, hey, I don't love this analogy. Maybe you could use a different one. But I don't think she had bad intentions. With Mel Gibson, it's kind of unfortunate. It's not only just that certain group he spoke against. There were other times. I mean, I'm going to say whatever I think. It's going to be super unpopular. I think the guy has had some personal issues over the years. I once heard that his wife, he had a Russian wife that recorded him speaking.
Oh, yeah, that's what I say. That's the Oksana tapes.
Man, that guy was flying off the handle. I don't think that it's just like one group of people that he spoke about. I think that he's
Keep it light, guys. Agreed.
I think that the guy, I hope he's gotten help for whatever he needed. Okay. And for me, it was very unfortunate because I did grow up really liking his movies. It did mean something to me when I heard how he speaks and how he acts. It doesn't help his image for me, but I think that over time he seems to have calmed down, and I hope for him that he's better.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Here you go, folks. New face 44TK33. What about Apocalypto? He's not in that one, but directs it. It's amazing.
It is. It is. He's a very good director, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
he's talented.
Very, very talented man. I think he's a better director than he is an actor. Personally.
Okay, we're getting bogged down, folks. So quickly, and then we're moving on. Okay, we're not moving on. Okay, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, very dark.
Yes,
very dark. I really like this movie. I think it's one of the best Christmas movie ever. Mm-hmm. But the first time I saw it, I found it to be very, very dark, especially when he gets slapped around the ear and blood comes out and there's loads of other things in there, when he has a go at the guy who loses the money and, but what an uplifting ending to this film, which made everything seem great. I just really like this film a lot. Do you know what's really good about it is I like Christmas movies that has that kind of impossible stuff, like an angel appears, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I mean, I do like A Christmas Story, which I saw recently. It's okay, but I like the magical thing about Christmas movies, and I think this one has it in spades. So I really like this movie. That's all I can say about it.
Desk?
No, I like It's a Wonderful Life. I think it is, like Ian was saying, a good classic Christmas movie. The idea that it makes you realize that you are not an island, that you have effects on people's lives, even if you don't realize you do. And if you weren't here, what would life actually be like for the people who you've never got a chance to affect, you know?
Yeah.
And it's overrated.
Oh, Atom, shut up. Seriously. No way.
It is a good movie, and yeah, I get what you mean about it being quite dark, to the point that Amazon have actually edited bits out for streaming.
But they had to return it. They now returned it.
Yeah, they have.
They
They
gave
put
you
it all
the
back
option
in
to
now.
watch the
Yeah,
full
they
one.
have, yeah.
Oh, thank God for that. So, but it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
It is. It's
Definitely.
very good. And also, it flopped when it was first released. Everybody thought it was a terrible movie, you know, but it's a great movie.
Do you know why it became popular?
Because of the channels. They played it every year, didn't they?
Well, they didn't renew the copyright, so people could play it for free.
Of course.
They played it a lot, and then it caught on afterwards.
A little bit of information here. Do you know that Helen Slater, when she was a teen, made a film that was based on It's a Wonderful Life? Anybody?
No.
I think it's called Alice and the Angel. It's terrible. It's on YouTube. It's absolutely awful. It really is.
They've done a few with that theme, though. What would have happened if you were not born, kind of thing. They've done a few with that theme.
Oh yeah, there's been a whole bunch that have been
exactly
with that very same conceit. I really enjoy this film. We watch it every year at Christmas. Like you said, it does get pretty dark. It's you're watching a man who has essentially sacrificed every little bit of his life to help others. Yeah. He's gone through. He was going to go to school, and then he couldn't do that. He had to stay home and help his family business. He was looking forward to traveling the world, and then he had to stay home and help hold down the fort when his brother was going off to war and various other things. And so it's this guy who's just his life and what his dreams have constantly been interrupted, and he's stayed behind to help everyone else. And in the end, he finally hits a point where he's broken down. He has nothing left to give. He's tried everything, and he just sort of keeps losing. And he hits that point when he's given up. And yeah, that's a pretty sad thing. I mean, you're talking about a man who's contemplated deleting himself, right? In this film. That's very dark. But yes, you get the very uplifting ending where like you said, he's not an island. All of these people that he has helped, they all turn up to help him. They all turn up to maybe that's kind of corny, right? In the end, that maybe people say that's not really how life works or whatever.
Yes,
but
it is.
That is maybe that's not how it works out for everybody. But yes, if you put good out into the world and you support other people, they're going to be there to support you. And I think it's a great thing especially with the spirit of Christmas, to think about. So yeah, and I really enjoy this film. Is it one of the best films ever made? I don't know. But it's definitely a great Christmas film, and I enjoy it.
Melvin?
I think, it's a great movie. I'm not surprised it didn't really catch on in its day, because it's like a portrayal of a kind of weak man. He's not a strong man, is he? I think it'll probably work better these days when everybody's stressed, depressed, and medicated. But I think, I mean, that's how it is, isn't it? Basically, everybody these days is kind of, everybody's got anxiety over something. But back then, men fought wars and came out of it with a head, as still men. Whereas now everybody's kind of melting down over somebody using the wrong name, somebody using the wrong pronoun. It's ridiculous. And I think at that time, it kind of portrayed James Stewart's character as a bit weak, but it's a great movie, and I think it gets better with age, and I think it fits in probably better now than it did back then.
Price?
It's a classic. I think that there's people that like this movie more than I like it, but I recognize that it's a classic movie.
Yeah.
Echo?
Can you mute Mega for a second?
What, you don't like it?
No, I haven't seen it, so
right, okay.
I'm scheduled for a very incongruous double feature coming up.
It's do you know what, right? One of the reasons why people don't like it is because one, some people don't like black and white movies, so they just kind of avoid it like the plague. And two, right, if they're of a certain age, this film deserves patience when you watch it. So they'll watch the first 5 minutes and I'll run out of patience, and then I'll just,
Go to the
not
phone.
watch it or go to the
Yeah.
phone, whatever.
Yeah,
But
okay.
for people like me, a man of age, right, I have patience to watch films like this. And if you invest in the film from the very beginning to the end, you'll find out how good the thing really is. And it is. It's a fantastic movie.
That's It's a Wonderful Life, everybody. Let's do the next one.
Yay!
The Muppets Christmas Carol.
It's a great
Echo?
movie.
Well, again, I'm going to be on Mega's naughty list. I haven't seen it for that.
I haven't seen it. That's all right. I don't mind. What's good is that you can discover these movies. Now
That's
you know
true,
they're
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Having
go
not
ahead.
seen this one is not exactly a crime.
I don't think
not everybody.
I haven't seen
not
it
everybody's
either.
seen this one.
Storm
but-
the Storm Wrenched. Best Christmas movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do enjoy this one. We did not watch this one this Christmas. We didn't get around to it, but we usually do watch this one with the kids every year. It's a very fun and enjoyable, humorous take on the story of A Christmas Carol.
It's the classic Charles Dickens Christmas Carol done in a nice whimsical way using puppets. Michael Caine plays it so seriously as Scrooge, like he's on the West End stage with proper actors, and it comes across as one of the most endearing Scrooge performances actually put on film. It's great.
His dedication to the role and playing it straight really makes everything else that much more enjoyable.
That's
fun.
what Frank Oz and all the people who operated the puppets, they were really amazed that Michael Caine treated all the puppets like they were real. Do you know what I mean? He didn't consider them puppets. He considered them actors. And he actually said that, I think, in one of the makings of, that he considered them actors. Otherwise, if he for once thought they were puppets, then his concentration would break. So that's why he played it straight. There was no other way of doing it, he was saying. So there you go.
Here you go, folks. 440K33. Scrooge better be on the list. It was, but it didn't make it through to round 2.
It's because it was rigged.
Yeah.
It's all
there were some films where Miss Piggy and Kermit would have children, and they would either come out as tiny little frogs or as tiny little piglets. How come they never came out as like weird, grotesque mutations?
Because they're puppets. They're not real.
I think we saw one of their kids. Didn't we see one of their kids in The Acolyte? Or...
God.
Oh dear.
Anybody, anything to add then?
Oh, that was a parrot. Sorry.
Parrot fucked a frog.
Yeah.
Anybody?
It's just
to my shame, I've never seen it. To my shame, but
It's a good film. You got a chance to see it. It'll always be there. So it's a good movie.
Okay, let's. Georgius Rex. The boys were frogs. The girls were pigs.
Pigs, yeah.
Yep.
What? Okay.
Miss Piggy.
Let's move on.
I've never seen this.
That just reminded
Krampus.
me of a joke, that previous comment about the boys being frogs and the girls being pigs. You probably heard it, right? What's green and smells like bacon?
I was going to do that joke. I'm glad you
Kermit
did
the
it.
Frog's middle finger.
Oh, no.
Okay, Krampus, anybody?
No, never seen it. Never seen it.
Haven't seen it.
Never seen it.
Sword in the
Why is
Storm.
this on the list?
Because it made it through. Sword in the Storm.
I see.
Wrench. Krampus is fun.
I've seen this. It's all right. I wouldn't call it a classic Christmas movie. It's
MC, hello, MC.
it's a decent movie, watchable. It's okay.
I mean, Krampus is the anti-Santa. Santa brings presents. If you're naughty, Krampus comes and kidnaps you. That's the mythology of the Krampus.
There is a poll open now, folks.
The Krampus.
So,
I
vote for your
can
favourite.
understand why it'd be a good movie.
Lethal Weapon, It's a Wonderful Life. Muppets Christmas Carol, Krampus.
I think Lethal Weapon is going to win that one.
Don't sway the audience. They have to make their own mind.
Sorry. I don't think anything.
Well, top two go through. It's very close. It's very exciting. Should we close it when we get to what? 60 votes?
69.
Yeah, 69 votes, folks. Okay. So no, just you, Melvin, with Krampus.
Just me, yeah. I wouldn't vote for it, but yeah, decent movie. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
It wasn't scary. But it was entertaining.
Okay. So we're at 50 votes. 49 votes, God almighty.
51.
51. It's very exciting just watching the numbers. Come on, folks. Get voting. Come on, folks. Come on, folks.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Or Ian will sing.
Yeah, you don't want me to sing, that's for sure.
No. We'll close it when we get to 60. Come on, 5 to go. Come on, folks. 4, 3, 2. Silence. 1.
You're a great singer, Mega Geek. What are you talking about?
Oh, wow, that's surprising.
We've got to the stage. Yay!
You
Right,
had those hits. You had "She Drives Me Crazy" and "Good Thing." Those are both good songs.
You know
Fine
what,
Young
right?
Cannibals.
I absolutely look nothing like that fella at all.
I never thought about it. Yeah, you're like that guy.
No, I'm
Fine Young
not.
Cannibals.
Were you guys blind or what?
Fine Young Cannibals.
It's just like saying Larry Fishbone looks like Samuel L. Jackson. Do you know what I mean?
Did you say Fishbone?
Fishbone. Yeah, I always call
Fishbone,
it
yeah.
Fishbone. Fishbone.
Okay, poll completed, 60 votes. Okay, so last place, Krampus with 8%. Third place, Lethal Weapon, 21%.
Ooh.
Second place, Muppets Christmas Carol, 33%. And the winner, Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life. Great movie.
Interesting. Fine Young Cannibals were a 2-hit wonder.
Yeah, they only had 2 hits, yeah.
Only She Drives Me Crazy and Good Things. That's it.
Yeah.
They had a couple of songs before that, but you might not have heard them in the US.
Mm.
They had that cool cover of "Ever Fallen in Love with Someone Shouldn't Have
They were
Fallen in Love with."
massive.
Over here, they were, yeah. Over
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we get on with it?
Move along.
Moving on.
Let's go.
Home Alone.
Home Alone E.
Right, whatever I vote for is going to be against this one.
Did we not vote for this before? Did we not vote for this before?
Yeah.
It's the next round, though.
Next round.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ka-ching. Okay, so why is this the why should we vote for this one, folks?
It's a good slapstick movie.
Yeah.
Kids
be
stuck
done
in a
today.
home. There are people coming to steal stuff, and
Never be done today.
different. Oh no, definitely wouldn't.
Great
I mean,
movie.
I did not realize there were 5 Home Alone movies, and
Oh,
over.
boy.
You said this
Christmas-
last time. You said this last
Well, we're
time.
repeating it again.
I think I said it in the green room. Don't think I actually said it on.
No,
stream.
no, you said it on the
I said it on
screen.
stream. I know, and I'm telling everyone because it is one of the worst experiences of my life. One is good. 2 is more silly. People should have died and they didn't.
Yes.
3 was pretty average. 4 was terrible, and 5 was just shit.
5 is a war crime.
It was
Isn't
Fi-
3 without Macaulay Culkin?
3, 4, and 5 have
3,
no
4,
Macaulay
and
Culkin.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
in 3, 4, and 5?
I don't know.
I think
kids.
it's actually 3 different kids.
Yeah,
in
they're
all
all
3 of
different.
them.
You know what? I only saw the first 2. I thought the first one was good. The second one was watchable, and that was it. And I'm so happy I stopped after that.
Oh,
Thing
that
is,
was
though,
the best thing you could do.
It was a one-stop joke, wasn't it? The first one. You can't really keep repeating that at all.
The second one was just a shameless cash grab that they just figured it's so popular, we'll do it
Yeah.
again somehow, and people will come see it, and it worked. You can only do that gimmick once. Like,
Yeah.
or you could do it twice if it's so successful, like they did here. But that's it. Anything beyond that was already not in good faith.
Yeah, Adam Jones is right. Yeah, the third one has a child
Oh.
actress,
Wow.
Scarlett Johansson.
Johansson.
in it,
Yes,
yes.
it does.
The biggest star in the fourth one is French Stewart playing Marv.
Oh.
And then the fifth one is just appalling. I mean, it's you got in the 90s, you got all these straight to video sequels of films. It's worse than any of those. It's appalling.
Do you know what made
the fat kid from Jojo Rabbit? Wasn't he the kid?
Have you seen this one, Echo?
Well, how much time do you have?
For you all day.
Do you know what made this? One of the things that made this film special was the music. John Williams' music made it really.
Oh yeah. Music was quite good.
Yeah.
There's actually, if you look at it, I think there's actually like 9 Home Alone movies.
Wow.
Oh dear God.
There's more after that. Yeah. There was a sixth one called Home Sweet Home Alone.
Oh, of course. That was Walt Disney, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about with the fat kid from
from
Jojo Rabbit.
For the sake of my
that's
sanity, I will never be watching it.
No, don't.
That was a remake, wasn't it? Remake of the first one, wasn't it?
Oh God,
but they changed it slightly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Or
a
no,
remake.
that one was done in 21. Yeah. That's what I'm looking. I'm trying to look it up because I was thinking about it. I'm like, I know I've heard of this movie. Yeah. All the ones after 1 and 2, just forget they exist.
Yeah.
They're
Simon
dreadful.
Mills. Hello, Simon. Happy New Year. My 4-year-old daughter loves this movie and the second one.
Yep.
Yeah. She's going to grow up to be a psychopath.
This first one is a very enjoyable kids movie. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, there's some ridiculous violence in it of him beating up the bad guys, but it's got some great messages in it. You know, when he is there alone and recognizing how much he does actually miss his family, how much he does actually miss having them around, and then his making that connection with the neighbor when he sees him at the church and they're talking about his challenges with trying to connect with his family, and it's got some really really lovely messages in it, and it's a fun film. It's one we watch every year with the kids.
Why didn't he call the police though?
Yeah,
why? Who knows?
Would be a short film, wouldn't it?
You wouldn't have had a film. It'd have been put in the care. He never would have got to see his parents again.
Here you go, Tom Wrenched. Delayed reaction, but Fine Young Cannibals had 12 hits.
Wow, 12. Did not know that.
Yeah, they were big at the time. Okay, anything to add then?
No. Does if you don't have any hair on your face and you don't shave, when you put aftershave on, does it sting? That's the question.
Yes.
Does
It does.
I think it depends on the aftershave. I remember my father shaving. This is 1970s, so I'd have been like, I don't know, like maybe 5 or 6.
Old
and
Spice.
he would put on his aftershave.
Yeah.
They would put some on my face, and it always stung.
All right.
Not
okay.
as much as Kevin thinks it stings, though. It's kind of just a very light sting, really.
Yeah.
He's a girl.
Great actor though in that film, wasn't he?
He made a film called The Good Son, and it was about a little boy that was a psychopath. And I remember reading about it, and they said they couldn't release it because it was so believable as a psychopath that it might ruin his career for the family.
No, they released it. They released it.
Yeah, they released it. I bought it on DVD. They released it a while later. I bought it on DVD, and it was shit. And the reason they didn't release it is because it was shit, and not because it was so believable.
What was
It
that
had
one?
good scene at the end, though. That scene where the mother has
Yeah.
to make the decision. That was
Yeah.
a good scene.
What about that film where he? What is it? The girl thing where he dies at the end. What was that one called?
My
The one
Girl.
with, Dan
My Girl.
Aykroyd.
Oh yeah, My Girl.
My Girl.
So
Dan
the
Aykroyd.
bees.
Yeah, that was
They
it.
get stung by bees.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say that nowadays, my girl?
Yeah, of course you
Is
are.
it like my, they, them, or
No, you got to call it their them.
my, their, them?
That wasn't a bad movie though. Really great performances by both kids though. Really, really.
My,
good.
they, them. Okay. Let's move on then.
How come if you have they them pronouns, how come they don't say like this is ours if they're talking about a possession?
Oh, I don't know. They're stupid.
Oh, it's confusing.
I think that's saved for the Queen, and the Queen's dead, so that's that.
Okay, Gremlins. Echo, you've seen Gremlins?
Have I, brother? Yeah. Don't. You won't shut me up if you get me talking about this. Talk your ear off. No, I haven't seen it either.
You've not seen Gremlins?
I haven't seen Gremlins.
Oh, right,
You
okay.
got a lot in common with Brown because he's never seen anything either.
Gremlins is great. That's a classic.
I don't do Christmas. Do you do Christmas, Echo?
Yeah, sort of, more or less, in a roundabout kind of way.
But it is the middle of summer where you are, isn't it? So
yeah, so it's 30 degrees of heat, and everyone has Christmas cards with snowmen on them, and we have a midwinter roast when it's blazing hot sunshine. So it's all very peculiar.
Don't you go to the beach? And
yeah, we do.
barbecue
Yeah,
and
so
stuff? Yeah.
barbecues are good. So someone will be wearing a Santa hat and board shorts, cooking up on the barbecue.
Right.
New Year must be better in the summer because you're not going to freeze to death waiting for a taxi.
Well, it's great because the dance festivals are all around New Year's, so it's nice, good. And you have dance festivals by the ocean, and there's beautiful sunshine. And then New Year's comes in. It's great.
Manuel Grell wrenched. Has Echo seen any film that came out before 1995? Echo?
Well, yeah, tons, just not any sort of Christmassy ones like these. So I've got a few blank spots, but no, I'm good.
Do you kind of half celebrate Christmas then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because I used to go out with a Jewish girl a long time ago. She was the same. She loved Christmas, but it wasn't part of her DNA, so to speak, and she celebrated it, but not as much as the rest of the world did. Yeah.
We're going to super chat, folks. Romeo Tango November Zulu wrenched Wolfspot 10 New Zealand dollars. Home Alone is a 1 or 2 film concept, just like extraterrestrials who reproduce inside human bodies, time traveling to stop an AI takeover and apocalypse, and humanity enslaved in a virtual reality.
That's a hell of a Christmas movie.
Wow.
They reproduce inside human bodies, time traveling to stop.
It's that reads like the Bible.
That was hard work at Brownie's reading pace.
Do you know what the common mistake about Gremlins is that the actual Gremlins themselves, you're not supposed to feed them after midnight. That doesn't refer to them. It only refers to the Mogwai, that you're not supposed to feed them after midnight. But everybody thinks it's the Gremlins as well, which is not. Oh, did I kill the stream?
You just ruined Christmas for like 8 billion people can never enjoy Christmas again.
There's a great Key and Peele sketch where they go through all the absurdities of Gremlins 2 and all the ridiculous things that they chuck into that film. At the end of the pitch meeting, the guy says, none of that will ever be in the film. Like
that'll never work.
So, yeah.
My younger self did enjoy Gremlins on the VHS.
I love the music in this film. Jerry Goldsmith's music makes it so magical. The whole film, his music's fantastic.
And
It was a good score.
Phoebe Cates as well. I was just the right age. I was just the right age, like about 13 or something when this came out. So,
Does she look good enough for you, Melvin, or you thought she was a dog?
Also, it's A Wonderful Life. It's kind of like
Didn't answer.
based on it, isn't it? It's based on It's a Wonderful Life. As
what
well.
did I just say, Price? Why do you hate freedom? What's the deal here?
I don't know. Anytime there's a pleasant looking woman, you say that she doesn't look good. So now you're being scrutinized.
It's very picky.
Yeah,
I'm
very
trying
high
to understand
standards, got high
which women he
standards.
thinks are attractive.
He's much more into Mogwai.
Come on, Haley Atwell looks like. I'm not going to say it again.
You even said Margot Robbie was mid.
I never said that. I said she was peak in The Wolf of Wall Street, like she was a 10 in The Wolf of Wall Street. That's what I said.
You made it seem like you have Margot Robbies all the time. That was the vibe that you gave.
Oh yeah, I'm beating them off with a shitty stick.
Echo, you're new to the panel. Haley Atwell, thoughts?
Oh, fantastic! Did you see her on that like that line where she's about to go into the premiere and she's got that dress which is emphasizing her assets? God damn, it's great.
Yeah, every big fat girl has big knuckles. It's it goes to being 5 stone overweight. It can't be avoided.
That's not fat. That's curvaceous.
She's not fat. How would you say? How would you come to the conclusion that she's fat?
because she's fat.
She's not fat. You know the difference.
Well,
you know the difference between fat and fat. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Margot Robbie's curvaceous. Haley Atwell's fat. That's the difference.
No,
This is outrageous.
Bobby's not.
So I thought Gremlins was all right as a movie.
Very
Yeah.
well done, mate. Well done, professional.
Did they not use the same set in Back to the Future on Gremlins as well? Didn't they? The same set, the town set. They just covered it in snow. You know,
Possibly.
Rock Tower and
Yeah,
all
I think
that.
it's the same backlot.
The same backlot, yeah, same one.
Melvin is from the Carrie Fisher cocaine era, gold bikini kind of. He hasn't got out of that era.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Lizzo is
Carrie
fat.
Fisher and ROTJ. Now there's a body. Perfect.
Lizzo is fat. What's her name? Isn't. So I don't.
Yeah,
there's a huge
exactly.
difference there.
Mhm.
Huge difference. She's
No,
not fat at
Lizzo
all.
is what we scientists would call a fucking elephant. That's more than fat.
Oh, good God.
I'm using the proper scientific words.
Scientific terms.
We need to get swappers in on the case with shouting for Haley Atwell's case. Yeah,
I
going
wouldn't kick
head to
her out
head
of bed,
against
would you? I
Melvin.
wouldn't kick her out of
No.
bed. I'm pretty sure Melvin wouldn't kick her out of bed.
Oh,
I
he
would. I would.
He would.
Look.
Yeah.
If I was out on the pool and Haley Atwell was the only bird in the bar, she'd be going home alone, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, this is outrageous.
Are you sure
I
you're not
think- I
gay, Melvin?
God almighty.
It's contextual. If this was the 1980s and she was a page 3 girl in some tawdry UK newspaper, then you opened up and you saw that and you thought, I'm having a bit
The
of that.
sun.
No,
Yeah,
they never
yeah.
had fat page 3 girls in the 1980s. That came just before they got rid of page 3, when they had to get politically correct and give you fat
My
ones. That's why
God.
That's why people stopped buying the Sun. That cost Rupert Murdoch a lot of money.
Did.
No, Doc, I remember him.
Okay. Anything to add then with Gremlins? We got a little bit sidetracked, but anything to add?
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
think we really talked about Gremlins.
Yes.
Yeah, Phoebe
This is
Cates
a
was
fun-
fun. There we go.
Yeah, it's a fun classic 80s movie. It's I grew up with this. It's not one that I've watched a whole lot since then, but I think
Yeah.
this one and then the sequel with Gremlins 2, the two of them are an excellent pair of films. The way that the second film plays off of the first
I
one
think the
and,
third one's on
and
the
all
way.
the
isn't it?
tropes.
Third one on the way.
That's
Isn't
I believe so. I believe they've been planning one for a while.
it? Okay. That's Gremlins, folks. Not a bad movie back in the day.
It's a good film.
Someone raises something interesting in the chat. Do you think Ariana Grande, she might just have a little bit of a disorder? She looks
Yeah.
pretty rail thin. It's like almost
She
Carrie
is. She
Fisher
does.
type
Yeah,
stuff.
she looks terrible.
She looks ill. She's too skinny. She didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years
Mike's-
ago, she wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think she's got showing a little bit of potentially maybe a Ozempic face or something. She's already thin, and then she's been losing more because of taking various medications probably.
There you go.
Pressures of Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Obviously,
And
all
It's sickening.
allegedly.
yeah.
Something's up there.
We've got a quick super chat, folks. M Duke 84 wrenched 2 Canadian woke dollars. Phoebe Kate, Fast Times, Nuff said.
Yep. She
Eyes.
looked good in that. She looked really good in that.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. Vex Electronica wrenched, shouting, Brown, it's not Christmas anymore.
Vex, there are 12 days of
nights.
Christmas until the 5th of January. On the 6th, you take all your
Yes.
decorations down. Waggle finger.
Happy New Year, Vex. So,
Happy New
Christmas
Year, Vex.
Story.
Christmas Story. I saw that recently. I'd never seen it before in my life, and I watched it, and I really, really did enjoy it. It was, it's a very good movie as far as I'm concerned. Again, in America, it's revered more than it is in England. I found out.
Is,
The difference between this one and, say, for instance, It's a Wonderful Life. It's this one's a very personal story. It's about I can't remember the little boy's name, but
Ralphie.
He wants a BB
Ralphie.
gun, and it's all the whole story's driven on that basic fact. There are a lot of side stories that happens in there. Melinda Dillon's brilliant in this film, as far as I'm concerned, and it's just funny. I found the whole thing funny. But that, as I said, it's the first time I saw it this year, and I liked it. So there you go.
It's an American tradition, isn't it? Apparently.
Think
Yes.
so.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, American institution.
Yeah. It's It has anyone else seen it? Besides Mega Geek and myself.
No,
I've heard of it, but never got a chance to watch.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
I watched
yeah.
it once.
Yeah.
It was okay. I did like it. It loses a lot of what makes it special, coming over here, because whilst it's good,
very American, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very American. There's a lot in it that the Brits don't get.
Yeah, I would view it the same way. There's a lot of stuff that we see here in the U.S. that we watch British stuff and we're like, what?
Yeah.
Why is that funny? I don't understand.
Also,
right? It's there's so much Americana in it. I understand why it wouldn't translate well.
What's with the leg then? The leg lamp. I never got. Is that something that happens in America or something?
No. It's patently absurd, is what it is.
Oh,
it's ridiculous. That's not something you would typically get, and of course, it's way too for something in the 1950s. 40s, like it's way over sexual. You would not see that kind of thing in a decent person's home, right? So, but the dad is just so enamored with it because it's a prize that he won, right?
Yeah.
And he's never won anything. He's never had anything given to him ever. He's always earned everything and worked for everything. And so, it's this great prize that he got, and so he's enamored with it. But clearly, it's horribly inappropriate.
The little boy though who plays Ralphie is absolutely brilliant in this film.
He does,
he was terrific.
He's fantastic in it.
Yeah.
In England, they'd probably pronounce it Raffy.
Yeah, Peter Billingsley is the boy who
I heard they made a sequel to it, didn't they?
They made a couple of sequels to it. There was actually there was a second film called My Summer Story, I believe. Right. It did not have all the same actors in it. Peter Billingsley was in it. But they were not able to get Darren McGavin back as the dad. It was not nearly as well accepted.
Yeah.
But it's I've seen it. It's kind of amusing. It's based on the same stories from this writer, from Gene Shepard.
Right.
But and then there were some attempts to make sequels to it by other studios and other people. They tried to make a musical. It's an abomination. Do not even try to find it.
Wow.
It is incredibly bad, just awful. But then they did do, just a couple years ago, HBO did a sequel, direct to streaming, and it was actually very much in the spirit of the original story, and I think it's pretty enjoyable. It's direct to streaming fare. It's not amazing.
But when was this shot though? Was it shot in the 70s? The film.
This was shot in, I think, like 80.
I thought it was the 90s.
No, it's earlier than that.
Oh right.
But it's set in the 1940s.
Yes.
It
was shot in 82.
You're right.
Came out in 83.
82, yeah.
Because they had that shot where they were in the middle of town.
Yes.
And that must be really expensive because all those cars and everything and the shops, and so yeah, I mean, they spent a lot of money on this film. It looks like they spent a lot of money.
Well, and if you know anything, like I said, this is kind of an American institution. It's a film that I love. We watch it every year. I don't have it on now. Earlier today, I had a Christmas Story T-shirt on that I had on. But when they actually were filming it too, it was not cold enough outside. There was no snow. And so when you see some of the scenes, especially the scene on Christmas Day when they get up and they're looking out the window look at all the snow and ice. They literally it was cold, but they did not get any weather, and so they had to bring trucks in and spray water all over everything to freeze it up and have snow and ice on everything because there was none naturally in the shot. So yeah, they put a lot of work into the film, and it shows. And you get some really fun performances from. I think Darren McGavin does a fantastic job as the father.
I like the bit where he goes to see Santa.
Yes,
there's that huge slide. So they with that queue and they go all the way up, and then they have to slide down, don't they? And the bit where he's holding on and Santa kicks him. I know, it's very funny, that bit.
You'll shoot your eye out. Yes, that's the classic
Very
classic
good.
refrain from the movie.
Yeah.
So
Anybody else? I'd never heard of it, but anybody else?
It's on
I'm just
Amazon for free. If you want to watch it, it's on Amazon.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just reading it. This one's for the Brits. Peter Billingsley, the boy who plays Ralphie, he in 2003 field producer for Trigger Happy TV.
Oh, right.
If you remember that TV show.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So he's not done too badly.
Yeah, he went on to work a lot in production.
Okay.
Film.
Trigger Happy TV was Dom Jolly.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
The guy with the giant mobile phone just going into libraries and shouting, "I can't talk now. I'm in a library."
It was
That
amusing.
joke
for a
was
while.
worn thin, didn't it? Yeah.
Very old, very quick.
Yes, a definite piece of Americana for Christmas.
Yeah.
You will see every year we see Christmas displays around where they have a giant leg lamp that they've made up in lights or whatever outside. I'm not surprising that it wouldn't be particularly popular outside the U.S., but it is a bit of an institution here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mim has chosen a very strange place to relieve himself. If you look at the chat. I don't know why did you choose there?
It's called a protein shake. Carry on.
Home Alone E2.
Didn't
Lost
like
in
this
New
film.
York.
I didn't like this one at all.
There's also a poll getting fired up, folks.
It's extremely silly. It
Yeah.
takes what Home Alone 1 had, kind of doubles it up, and it's everything that Kevin did. He should have been convicted of murder. They should have died several times over.
Yes, I think we counted up
until his skeleton appeared.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I think we counted up 9 times that he would have murdered them during the during those last few scenes.
That family's inept, aren't they? Keep losing Kevin around that Christmas time.
Well, and they play that up too. There's the scene in Home Alone 2 where they're with the cops trying to tell them what's happening, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's becoming a bit of a tradition that we leave our son at home at Christmas," and trying to laugh it off, and the cops are not amused at all. But
that family's extremely rich, aren't they? That family that Kevin belongs to. I mean, if they can afford to take the whole family. Where were they going originally in the first one, and now they're in New York? It's ridiculous.
It was Hawaii in the first one, I think.
Yeah.
No, was that the second one?
I can't remember. But yeah, it's interesting. But there you go.
I can't remember ever seeing this one.
I didn't like this one at all. I thought it was just a rip off the first one. That's what I thought.
They really do play up a lot of the film being just the same thing over again.
Yeah.
But with some variation, and they try to hang a lantern on it, which works sometimes, and then other times it's just like, yeah, we get it. You're doing the same thing again. But I think it's still an enjoyable film. It's not nearly as good as the first one, or as rewatchable as the first one. But
no,
it's
you could watch it once pretty much, and that's it.
Is it an unashamed cash grab?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's Home Alone E2, folks. We've got a poll going. So the options are: vote for your favorite Home Alone, Gremlins, A Christmas Story, Home Alone 2. 43 votes. Shall we stop when we get to what? 50? So come on, folks. Come on, folks. You can do it. The chat's tooling with me, obviously. 45, 46, 47, 48. Come on, folks. Here we go. You know, I'm going cross-eyed looking at these numbers going on.
Tim Curry was the best part of Home Alone 2, I think. He played the hotel manager far too well.
We are stationary at 49. The chat know what they're doing. Tooling with me. Wait, shall we stop it then, yeah?
Your stream, you choose.
Okay, so YouTube, come on, update. Here we go.
You want dial-up or something? Why is your thing so slow?
No, I'm on going cross-eyed looking at the chat. Vote for your favourites. Poll completed, 50 votes. Last place, Home Alone 2, 1%. Third
With 50
place.
votes, that's half a person.
Yeah.
And we only have 97%.
Yep.
This time
Third
around.
place, Home Alone, 25%. Runner-up, A Christmas Story, 31%. And the winner, Gremlins, with 40%. Top two go through. Shall we do?
Gremlins is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we do the next?
There's more.
There is.
One more round.
Yeah. Disney's Christmas Carol. Echo, you seen this one?
Haven't seen it.
Who has seen it then?
We watched this once. Yeah,
I
we watched this
once
one
as
time.
well. Yeah.
I don't
I'm
think
sure-
I've seen it.
I've got kids, so I'm sure it's been on in the background,
Mhm.
but I don't think I've actually sat down to watch it.
I went to the cinema to see it when I had a cinema card, and it was good.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better Scrooge films.
Yeah.
Like probably like top 3 or 4. Very good. It surprised me how good it was because Jim Carrey is really fucking annoying.
I hate it, and I'll never watch it again.
Look, I apologize. Haley Atwell's not that bad, right?
I don't care who's in it. The character and its animations are creepy as hell.
Why is Haley
And-
Atwell in this?
Yeah,
Maybe she
she
should
is.
be. She should be.
Yeah, that's her in the picture. She was a bit skinnier back then.
Ian, did you say you've not seen it? Or
No, I've seen it. It's okay. I remember being bored watching halfway through. I got bored with it.
Yeah.
But it's still an achievement in animation. The animation's so much better than the Polar Express, say. Jim Carrey's performance is great, but I just thought it was just far too. It should have been shorter, the film.
Right.
But it was all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sets off my uncanny valley. I just can't do it.
Mm.
Anybody else then? That's Disney's Christmas Carol.
I think.
I remember I enjoyed it, but I've never seen it. I've never revisited.
See, that's the problem with it. If you don't revisit a Christmas
that what it
movie,
is?
then
You
it
think?
doesn't work, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. This one
That's-
didn't work too well.
Well,
Yeah,
that's-
no.
Yeah, but I'm bar humbug though.
Yeah, I'll go back and watch the 1931 or whatever Alistair Sim version before I'll watch this.
Yeah.
Right.
No thanks.
Okay. Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol, folks.
Mm. I've only seen this once as well.
This is
Christmas
controversial.
Vacation.
I know people that love this movie, and I actually enjoyed the first Vacation movie and even the second one, European Vacation. I enjoyed those movies. This one, I watched it once. I didn't really enjoy it, and everybody's always like, "This is a legendary movie. It's the best movie," and I don't get it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just okay, I found.
Yeah, I same. I know people who this is their Christmas go-to. They love this
Right?
film.
They love it.
And I enjoy it. I don't actually think we got around to watching this one this year. It's not on my must-watch list. It's okay. It's fun. It's also kind of depressing. It's kind of sad. Some of the things that happen with the family. But yeah, I mean, I get the type of comedy they were going for. It is National Lampoons, but yeah, it's not my favorite.
Yeah,
But it's fun though.
Yeah.
It does have a following, though. I'll give it
does.
that.
Echo, are you part of the following for this movie?
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
I
Sorry, you go.
I thought it was good, funny film. It was
Never
all
seen
right,
it.
you know.
Yeah.
Not a lot of rewatchability to it. I think I've probably seen it once or twice because it was on rather than because I sought it out. It was okay. It was a laugh, but definitely not a classic.
Mm. You're right.
Again, I think we're stuck in that American institution. National Lampoons is sort of like just, it's a big US thing that came over to the UK in the same way that Carry On was a UK thing. That do they have Carry On movies over in the US now?
No.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Well, they made a movie this year called Carry On, but that really has
Yeah.
nothing to do with
That's slightly
Carry On.
different.
I actually
Yeah.
enjoyed Carry On, by the way.
Good.
That's Taron
movie.
Edgerton.
Yeah.
Egerton, yeah.
Die Hard 2 with Taron Egerton.
Yeah, it was Die Hard 2 with Taron Egerton, but you know what?
Was it?
It was a
Okay.
rather pleasant movie. I mean, yeah, it's obvious that they watched Die Hard 2 and tried to make a modern version, but I didn't hate the movie.
Do you see? Netflix is beginning to realize that cheesy movies, people would literally watch cheesy movies on Netflix, but if they had put that in the cinema, that would have made zero amount of money in the cinema.
Yeah.
But they've realized that if they create something that's kind of recognizable in tone, then people, because they're at home, they'll watch it. And that's
Yeah.
why all these
I'm going to
are
really
making
shock
money,
you
yeah.
here. I don't know how it would have done in the theater, but I'm going to shock you now. That was one of their better movies that I've seen in a long time. It has issues. You could pick it apart, but there was sort of a fun element, a dumb fun element about the movie that you kind of sit there and just enjoy it. I sat there and I admit I enjoyed the movie. It's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's one of the best I've seen on that Netflix produced, and I did actually enjoy it for whatever it was.
No, I'm not disputing that. All I'm saying is that for this kind of movie, if they've released this in the cinema, it would not have made any money because people
You
would
may
look.
be right. You may be
Yeah,
right. I just
because-
don't know,
People
but you may be
go to
right.
the cinema anyway nowadays.
No, because people will read the
And wait for it.
synopsis
Yeah.
and they'll go, "That's Die Hard," and they wouldn't even make the effort to act because you have to make the effort. You have to cough up the money. You have to walk to the cinema. You have to pay your thing. You have to buy your popcorn and sit down. But because it's on Netflix and it's just one flick of a remote control, that's why people. That's why it's so. Netflix have realized that these kind of films, they get more people watching these kind of films than if it was in the cinema. Like for instance, that shark, that Paris film, was it the Shark Under the Water, whatever it was called? You know that one?
Shark under the water.
There was a shark. There was a shark.
Jaws does
There's something
Paris.
in the water.
What was it called? I can't remember what it's
Alien
called.
Romulus.
Shark out.
You know, so there was this really cheesy film, right, where there was a shark in Paris, under the Seine.
It's called Under
yeah.
Paris.
Under Paris, yeah.
Here's
And
MC.
right, the
Stay
film
good,
is so cheesy and stupid, and it's got a sequel. But if they released
That's
this
like
in the
that one-
cinema, that would never, nobody would ever go and see it. That's what I'm saying.
Werewolves. I watched
No, the-
Werewolves today, and it was
Yeah.
ridiculous, but it was great fun.
But I'm saying the point I'm trying to make is Netflix are beginning to realize now that if they make something familiar, a movie that's familiar, people will just flick their remote control, and even if they watch 10 minutes of it, it's counted as a view. So that's why they're doing films like this, if you know what I mean. So anyway.
Can I be controversial?
You're going to be.
I think Taron Egerton is shit. He's one of them actors. He's one of them actors they want us to like, and I'm sick looking at him. He's like Timothy Chalamet, but English, except he can't fucking speak English. He speaks like there's something wrong with him because he's had too many vaccinations. They shouldn't put him in stuff. They
Okay.
shouldn't put him in stuff. He's a white guy who's trying to impersonate a Jamaican very badly. He's awful.
Does he say "yo, man" when he's in the film?
He just pronounces words really strange, like he thinks he's a
Hunting.
fucking rapper or something. He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's me being
Okay.
controversial.
Let's move on then.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I like
Batman
it.
Returns.
Very adult in its themes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Very, very Tim Burton.
it was so adult that they had problem with the sponsorships with the McDonald's Happy Meals, and it's probably the reason why we lost Tim Burton and Michael Keaton, and then moving
Yeah.
forward we had
That's
a
McDonald's.
Oh, it went on to what was after this? Was it Batman Forever?
yeah.
And
Th-
everything
this-
was sort of like neon. Was it Val Kilmer or George Clooney?
Val Kilmer,
Val
yeah.
Kilmer.
So
Val
everything
Kilmer and
became
then
all
George
bright and
That's right,
a lot
yeah.
more positive, yeah.
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 Yeah, Clooney was the franchise killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and that movie was just unbelievably bad.
But
It
this-
was
this-
unbelievably bad, but Clooney
had-
didn't help.
It had the back credit card. How can anything be bad? with
Yeah.
the back
Oh,
credit card?
good God.
But
But
this-
nipples on the
And the
bat.
bat nipples.
And the
Yep.
bat nipples, yeah.
But this film was as far as I'm concerned, was really good.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, it did go over the top with the adult themes, like Catwoman and that costume can only be described as, you know what I was going to say, but and
as
the penguin.
wonderful as wonderful I can describe it. I think Michelle Pfeiffer gave a fantastic performance in this movie.
The penguin was disgusting with his green vomit and stuff, and
Even Melvin
lecturing
thought
after women, wasn't he? He was lecturing after women, so you know what I mean. So it is very adult. Sorry, mate.
It is, but even Melvin thought that Michelle Pfeiffer looked good in this movie.
No, he probably thought she was fat.
This is the best she's ever looked, my opinion.
Yeah,
This is like definite fantasy material here.
Oh, it's something.
Echo?
I can't. Oh, go ahead.
Well, all three of those characters on the screen gave phenomenal performances. They're all perfectly pitched and aligned with, as the ideal actors for those roles. The film didn't quite cohere as a whole. It didn't probably have any sort of momentum or drive to it. So
you know what's interesting? This movie had Christopher Walken in it, and he didn't even make the poster.
yeah, that's true.
Forgot about him. This is actually a really great film. It suffered from its context, got all muddled.
Yeah, some of the scenes were a bit random.
And also, when you watch the Burton films now, you can it's so obvious that all of it was shot in a studio. So there's nothing that looks real about it at all. It's very fantasy based, obviously, because it is fantasy. Yeah.
The other aspect is that it came off. It suffered from coming off the high of the 1989 Batman, which is such a cultural phenomenon that it was always going to be overshadowed and a bit kind of neither here nor there in the wake of that. So if this had come out first, it might have been really great, but it just suffered from that context.
Really good in that costume, though, and Michael Keaton. The costume was so much better than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The movie did okay. I think the movie did okay. It's just that it couldn't have reached, like you said, reached the heights of the previous one. And the companies that wanted kids' toys got annoyed at the adult themes. But I wasn't annoyed. I liked the way it was. I think that it was a good movie. He should have made more like this.
Okay, folks. Johnny Lawrence's mum wrenched. Michelle Pfeiffer is magnificent in this movie. The scene where she whips off the mannequin's head was done in one take.
Yep, she did it. Yeah, she did it.
You can't even see the poster without thinking about seeing that scene and how it really was done. Like she learned how to do it and she did it all in one take. It's brilliant.
Yeah. One thing I remember out the movie was that Michael Keaton's Batman cowl was actually a whole bit that went from the head right down to the shoulders, and it was solid rubber.
You can actually
he couldn't
buy that.
He couldn't turn his head.
No,
so
Chamberlain have just done a life-size replica of that cowl. You can buy it.
Yeah, he had to. When he turned, he actually had to pivot on his feet.
His whole body.
Yeah. So, but that just makes it actually look even more intimidating. Because suddenly it's not just he's looking at you; it's sort of like he's just entirely facing the bad guys, and it just looks really intimidating.
They actually made him more broody this time, didn't they? Remember that shot where he's just sitting in his big library all on his own, and then the light shines on him. He's just brooding, isn't he? Then when the bat sign comes up, he stands up, doesn't he? And he was more broody in this one. I don't know why, because he had Vicky Vale in the first one. I thought it'd lighten up, but he didn't, did he? I don't know what happened to Vicky Vale.
She probably got fat.
yeah, maybe.
Do you think that Vicky Vale looked good, Melvin?
Oh, Kim Basinger. See if you go back to what was that film? James
9.5 weeks.
Never Say Never Again.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Never Say Never Again. She was good in that too.
Yeah,
she was gorgeous.
Woman. Yeah, gorgeous woman. Yep.
But anyway, I'll be controversial. Danny DeVito in this is my favorite Penguin.
Yeah, he's my favorite Penguin as well. I like the idea that he was he only had like 3 fingers, and that's why they got rid of him, because he looked like he was obviously born differently to them.
Yeah.
And they were upper class, and they didn't want the stigma, so they got rid of him. I think that idea is really good.
It's not a controversial take, though. Who doesn't like Danny DeVito as the Penguin?
Yeah, he's
I mean, who doesn't like Danny DeVito? I mean, it must be one of the most popular actors on the planet. I mean, for the last
his character, the presentation, the makeup, the suiting, his acting was all great, but his actual characterization, like he wasn't especially dastardly or have that much sort of momentum or emphasis. in the story itself, so that's where it made
I
it
don't know. He
fall
bit
down.
that guy's face off. That was a little bit nasty.
Nose. He bit his nose, didn't he? Bit his
Yeah.
nose. Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Anonymous bastard wrenched. DeVito is perfect in this. Sue me.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
I just
very
had a
good.
thought. Sorry to interrupt. But the penguin in this film is what Rachel Zegler looks like on the inside.
Yeah, probably. But he was staring at girls and stuff, wasn't he? And that was quite interesting. Again, you'll never get away with it today, but it was well balanced as far as I'm concerned as a movie. Definitely.
Okay, that's that was the last time we saw Keaton as Batman up until
The Flash.
And the Batgirl movie. Oh wait.
Oh,
Somebody's got that somewhere. It's going to turn up in a Comic-Con somewhere. You know it.
well, they would make money.
I know. You know it.
They're not allowed to
There. Yeah, well, they should though, shouldn't they?
because they did it as a tax write-off. If there's
Yeah.
any surviving copies, they have to pay all that tax back.
Here you go, folks. Wrenched. That Zegler comment is the best thing Melvin has said in a long time.
Do you know what,
Victor
right?
Meldrew has spoken.
I remember when Batman came out, the first Batman.
Came out.
And I was working post-production, and I remember before it got released, I had this friend that was working in the middle of town, and he had a copy of it before it got released,
Yeah.
like from the master as well. And he gave me a copy on VHS, and I watched it before it got released. And so, you know what I mean? But that was huge security around the Batman movie. Yet my friend got a
You want
copy.
a whipped copy.
I'm just saying that with the Batgirl film, somebody's got a copy of that film somewhere.
Without a doubt. Without a
Without
doubt.
a doubt.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
like to think they have, and it'll come out in sort of like 25, 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
Yeah.
I just
Maybe
don't think
sooner.
it won't be a finished film though. I don't think it got far enough to be finished. It'll just be bits and pieces.
I
Yeah.
thought they finished it.
No,
No,
they shut down. They were still filming when
yes,
they shut down
they
production.
shut
Oh,
it
okay.
down, yeah.
All
yeah.
right, so we'll never see it then.
Yeah, there will not be a finished film that will come out, but we may get to see some bits and pieces of it.
Yeah,
eventually.
somebody's got it. Somebody's got it.
Okay.
What,
Batman-
Batgirl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been trailers. There have been a few things that I think appeared online. You can see here and there a few scenes, or a few, maybe not full scenes, but there's something you could see from the movies that exists online.
I don't know if that's true.
There was a trailer. Didn't they release a trailer?
No,
for the
that was
movie?
No,
that
they
was
never
from
did.
that was from the Corridor Crew. They made one up using existing footage and
Yeah.
using an actress, using one of their technicians that they had in their thing. So it was made. That one was made up.
I was,
There wasn't a
trying to
legitimate
imagine
trailer. There wasn't a legitimate trailer for Batwoman.
No,
no,
that
Batgirl,
was
sorry.
made up. It was made up by the Corridor Crew.
Oh.
They didn't release a trailer for Batgirl, which is how they got a tax write-off, because they'd never actually promoted it. So they haven't actually said this
How much
movie
did-
is going to
Did
exist.
they
So they
spend
managed to write it
80
away.
million? Was it 80 million on it?
I think 180.
But I'm
It was
glad they
something
didn't
insane
make
like that.
it, because what they do, they were basing that Batgirl on the crappy version where she was wearing, Doc Martens and all
Timberlands.
that rubbish. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Timberland boots.
rather than the horny, sexy Batgirl that we used to have in the 70s. You know what I mean? So
Right.
All right, on that bombshell, let's move on then.
I like this film.
Klaus.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It came out about 4 years ago, and it won loads of awards. The animation's really good. It's basically about the origin of Santa. Basically, that's based on loosely based on a true story. Yeah,
There is a poll running, everybody.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. Obviously, you haven't seen it. It's good. It's on Netflix.
Negative.
Well, I'm the only one then.
It's on the watch list now. I'll get around to it eventually.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
next Christmas.
That's
Yeah.
it looks like the the person there's got two heads. The child's got two heads. Or was that just me?
Hey, what?
There's a child there, isn't there?
Where? There's a
the-
kid at the bottom.
to the right.
That's Grums at the bottom, isn't it?
It's like it's
To
got
the
two
right.
heads. Or is it
I
me?
got what you said.
I think that's you.
I really do need to go to Specsavers then.
Yep.
Yes, there's a bunch of kids on the left and right who are trying to hand letters to Santa.
Yeah.
What do you think the moment was like for David Zaslav? Was he in his huge office and he poured himself a whiskey soda, twitched his suspenders, went to the window and twitched down the blind and thought, it's come to this. This is so hard. All these people, this is why I get paid the big money to make these difficult decisions. Or they just go, no, fuck it, and push the button.
I don't know. It's hard to tell with these execs. There's lots of rumors on how they did this and how they did that, but nobody really knows unless you're in the room.
Yeah.
You get a lot of YouTubers saying, "No, this is what probably happened," but it's just a theory from everyone, isn't it? So I don't know. Maybe they are that cruel where they basically sit in the office and they go, "Right, let's just destroy this," and they do that. I don't know.
Oh well, we've got Superman to look forward to.
I hear some bad news on that one. I hear that it's not very good. The movie.
I really want it to do well.
So do I.
We deserve
Well,
it.
well, other sites were saying Guardians of the Galaxy level good.
Yeah, some of them say
So-
that, but the thing is, though, sometimes when something looks too good to be true, it really is too good
Usually
to be
is,
true. Yeah, usually is.
Yeah.
I think you
There's
could
loads
also
of red
throw into the mix that you don't want Superman to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, you don't. I don't want that. I just think again, right? Everyone says this, right? Not only me. It should just be a standalone Superman movie, but it's not. That's one big red flag for me. So I don't know.
Echo, thoughts on the Superman trailer? We've not spoken to you in a while.
A trailer is supposed to well up excitement and a sense of spirit and anticipation, and there was nothing in that trailer that really did that or touched on any of that at all. Plus, I'm just not a DC guy. I just don't like their aesthetic. I don't really like any of their products.
Never mind. I think the old fella's gone into bed. Okay. I will say, folks, we have got 3 votes.
3 votes, is that all?
3 votes to go. 2 votes. Come on, folks. Here we go. 1 vote. I'm going to end the poll at 50. Okay, so come on, YouTube, update. So Poel completes 51 votes. Last place, Klaus, 0.
Well, it's pretty new though.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't seen it. It was a direct to Netflix release.
Yes,
I
it
think.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Third place, A Christmas Carol, with 17%. Second place, Christmas Vacation, 21%. What a surprise. The winner, Batman Returns, 60. So
Klaus just didn't have enough explosions and dead bodies. It just wasn't Christmassy enough.
Yeah.
Maybe he was dressed in a catsuit.
Maybe.
Okay, folks. I think we're going to end it there, if I may. We didn't get onto the 2024 stuff.
What's the 24 stuff?
All the TV and movies that we kind of headlined on the Musing stuff.
Well, we can
during
go
the
in for another half hour if you want.
Do we want to go for another half hour, folks?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Do a poll.
I'm polled out, folks.
Well.
Okay. Right. Okay. We'll
Should we or should we not carry on for the next 30 minutes?
Should
yes
we
or no?
not?
No, look, I think we should just carry on for the next half hour because,
Yes.
because I'm not doing anything. I'd rather stay up and have some more fun. It's up to you guys.
Okay.
Go for it. Got the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get some. So these were the kind of main thing we watched from the Musings for that week. So the first one was this.
Oh.
Masters
I saw one
of
episode.
the Air. Did anybody watch it?
One episode, that was enough for me.
Yeah, me too. It looked good, but it just had that kind of like late 90s, early 2000s Roland Emmerich kind of sheen to it that I didn't like, and it looked very CG-ish. And didn't particularly have any gravitas or momentum to it, and it didn't really hook me in.
Yeah,
So,
I think I watched 2 of them. It's
I
exactly
don't
the
even
same.
remember
Exactly
this.
the same.
I didn't watch even one episode, and I don't really know why. I just looked at it and said, "No, I don't feel like watching it."
It didn't look enticing when you seen the ads for it. It didn't look like it was going to be good, but I think I made it about 3 or 4 episodes, I think, and then I bailed out.
I saw it did that.
It wasn't very good. I agree with Echo. It just didn't. It didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yep.
Because those raids are historically they're incredible. Those huge formations of B-17 bombers, and those ships sort of degrading and falling apart in mid-air, and they couldn't get the speed and dynamics of the Messerschmitts coming in and any of that. So they couldn't get the scale of something which they had great source material, but it just seemed to be 80% like the cramped cockpit shots, and I just couldn't get into it.
You know what, though? I do have an explanation for why I didn't want to watch it. I feel like these days, especially at the height of all this kind of nonsense that we see in entertainment, I see something like this and I think to myself, instead of being something cool that's kind of exciting to watch, they're going to annoy me with something. I don't know how they're going to annoy me with some propaganda, or they'll rewrite history and there'll be women barking at them or something. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but sometimes that's what I think to myself. I guess I saw a trailer and I just said, I don't feel like watching it. I have no idea. Maybe none of what I'm saying is true. Maybe it was totally legitimate and exciting. I just didn't feel like watching it.
I watched all of it. There were some very, very good moments. Obviously, it's the same production company as Band of Brothers and the Pacific. I feel if it had been made round about that time, when they were on a roll from making those, it'd have been shit hot.
Thing is, there are online YouTube channels like the Operations Room and things like that, where they have these really great animations and graphics, and they reproduce all the stuff, and I find that actually more engaging because you get a better sense of scale and of the missions.
Yeah, when it was on, I kind of went down the rabbit hole of going on YouTube about the history of the missions and stuff. I enjoyed the series, but Band of Brothers was an amazing series.
Yeah, peak.
This should have been good, but it was the 2022 the year of kind of modern times of making, if you know what I mean. What kind of spoilt this, if you know what I mean. If it had been made 20 years ago or 15 years ago, when was it Band Brothers, it had just been off the charts.
I'll tell you one of the things in this that was just it was predictable and annoying is when the Americans got in a fight with the English, and the English were being posh and snobby. So then the Americans smacked them all up and down, and I thought, I knew that was going to be in this. It had to be. That kind of just utter,
there were a few tropes. Yeah.
Cliche stupidity. It's like, yep, had to be. And at that point, I knew it was over for it, that it wasn't going to recover from that.
Okay. That was January, everybody. Masters of the Air.
Did you put the bin?
This was disappointing.
This was
I
shit.
didn't put the bin out.
Yeah.
This was shit.
Yeah.
Absolute shit.
Yep.
It was they actually made everybody think that Superman was the main star, and he wasn't. It was this redhead.
Henry Cavill became the bait and switch king for a while. They put him in something to try and drum up support and all the advertising, but he wouldn't actually physically do anything in it. It was such a disappointment. Everybody hated it.
And also, watching it, you could have easily guessed the twist at the end. Easily guess. It was so obvious what was going on.
We were all looking forward to this, weren't we, for some reason, because of Cavill.
Well,
I
it's
wasn't
Matthew
looking
Vaughn.
forward to it. I knew it was
Oh.
going to be crappy.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been fun, but yeah, it did not execute on that at all. It was a mess.
I knew it was going to be a bait and switch. I'm so proud of myself. I saw it. I knew it, and I'm patting myself on the back as we speak.
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to realize what was going on when you were watching it. So, but
I think
yeah,
people were hoping for a Henry Cavill James Bond movie.
yeah, that's what they were hoping for.
That's what I think people were hoping for, and it failed.
Or even
Immediately
the
when you
man
saw
from
them in
Uncle.
the, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Immediately when you saw them in the train and they had that conversation, you knew what the twist was. You just knew it, and I just thought to myself, I'm just wasting my time here.
Do you know
Yeah.
what was the worst part about this?
Yeah.
They spelled Argyle wrong. It doesn't have an E at the end.
Yeah, that stupid CGI cat. really.
Anonymous bastard wrenched. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to have an obese woman at the head of an action?
Yeah. She wasn't obese, but what I'm saying is that, again, this is Hollywood playing the same old record. You can't have good-looking women. You can't have good-looking men. They either have to look effeminate or they have to look crazy. And they got the crazy guy in this one. And that's that. That's what they did. So,
Yeah. Well, this is
What's
that's two Apple productions in a row here that we're not particularly fond of.
well,
Yeah, I was looking forward to this with the trailers. Thought it looks pretty good. And then
The thing is, if you
I've
make-
not seen it. Not seen it.
if you make films for Apple or Amazon, you've got to toe the line, ain't you, of their ideology and
Yeah.
their agenda. You've got to, otherwise they won't give you the money. And again, right, I think Matthew Vaughn should have walked away from this. He shouldn't have complied.
Yeah. In general, Apple has not been as heavy-handed on that stuff, but yeah, it's still there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a payday for him, though, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but
Nobody needs it, probably.
no, the thing is, it's kind of spoiled his reputation a bit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
is it worth it? That's the question. He's got money. He probably didn't need this job. And in fact, he doesn't need. He's always acted in the independent sector. He's not part of the British film industry at all.
Yeah.
He gets his money from banks. He gets his money from the Americans, but nothing from England. That's why he's never been nominated for a BAFTA. That's why
Okay.
you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't think the British industry likes him too much.
Okay. Shall we move on then?
Yeah.
That's Argyle, February.
Oh, move on.
Oh.
This just sucks.
Halo.
Move on.
So disappointed.
It's been cancelled, by the way. Did
Good.
anybody watch it? I watched it. Anybody?
One
I didn't.
episode enough.
I gave up very early on.
Didn't watch
Yeah.
it.
It was better than season one, but unfortunately the damage had been done. Season one.
He took his helmet off. That's one of the things Master Chief
Constantly.
doesn't do. It's all like the whole point was that he was the Spartan. He wasn't, you know, someone you could see. You had to rely entirely on just this voice coming out of this suit of armor.
But you know why, don't you? All actors like, they've got to see my
They've got to have
face
the
because I have to
face.
emote.
Right.
Yeah,
Rubbish.
that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I
shit.
think if you want to get somebody to get by just with their voice, so you're going to need somebody with a name. You're going to need somebody big.
Don't even need
If you
that.
want to do a Judge Dredd,
It's like what they did with the first Spider-Man. He kept taking his freaking mask off. It's like, come on, you
Yeah.
know, there've
Come
been years
on,
in a comic
come
book
on.
where Spider-Man is talking and it's just a cartoon and a bubble, yet you connect with him because you can feel the emotion of what he's saying. It's the same thing with movies as well. You don't need to see Spider-Man's face to emote with him. It's what he does and what he says that connects with you. Anyway, I give in.
See, I'm with M Duke 84 Wrenched. I really wanted to like the show.
Yeah.
We'd been waiting for this for years.
There was so much lore, so many good characters. There's, you know, you look at the games, they had an entire line of movies and shows laid out right in front of them. They could have just plucked it straight from, you know, basically the Wikipedia, and they didn't. They tried to make something new, and it fucked it.
Echo, did you watch Halo?
Haven't seen it.
Let's move on then.
Not missing much.
Madame Web. Echo, I know you've seen this.
Well, this has a special place in my heart. I love this film. It's a genuine comedy. It never gives up on the laughs and hilarity and stupidity. The dialogue is terrible. The ADR is terrible. The color scheme and color grading, the pacing, everything about it is perfectly charming and goofy. So I love this film. In fact, I might go rewatch it tonight.
Makes you wish they'd actually done it as a comedy, because then that would actually be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about Sydney Sweeney earlier while I was studying spiders in my underpants.
Is she a munter? Is she a munter?
You're not going to get me with them trick questions, Brun.
Sydney Sweeney, she's gorgeous, man.
It's, Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson have laid into it, and they've both actually done all right out of it. Sydney Sweeney was on Saturday Night. Sydney Sweeney was on Saturday Night Live, just saying, "You may have seen me in this, and you certainly didn't see me in Madam Web."
Yeah,
and it's, they're leaning into it. They're both fire their agents.
Yeah,
just after the movie came out, and from everything I've read, they both thought they were going to be in the MCU.
Yeah, what's interesting about the Dakota Johnson is that I only remember her from one film. That was that film that launched her. But I found out today that she's done loads of films. I'm like, she's done loads of films. She's gone out with all these singers. I'm like, when did this happen? Do you know what I mean?
Went out with Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Still with him.
Yeah.
I've never seen her really give a great performance anywhere. I'll be honest. It's Madam Web was a bad movie, but sometimes you have a bad movie. For example, Kraven the Hunter wasn't a good movie, but I think that Aaron Taylor Johnson tried his best with the material. Dakota Johnson didn't even seem like she was really trying hard, or maybe she's just not a very good actress.
That certainly.
50 Shades of Grey.
Apparently she's done loads of movies. I'm like, when did she do these loads of movies? Because I don't remember her being in anything apart from this one.
Oh, no.
50 Shades of Grey.
She did a recent performance in Persuasion, a Jane Austen adaptation, which of course was a colorblind casted up the wazoo, but it's all right.
We're going to super chats. M Duke 84 wrenched $2 Canadian work dollars. Titty Terrifica Sydney Sweeney has great.
Read that again, Brown.
Titty Trifecta even.
There you go.
Titty Terrifica was a Bond girl.
Yeah.
Bond is dead anyway, so thank you, my friend. Anything to add, Madam Web?
Should never been made.
I do like it's kind of sweetly amusing that like 2003, that kind of whole era was culturally crap, and even like a film that tries to recreate that era is also crap. So I do like that.
Madam Web is probably technically the worst movie I saw last year.
What about Joker?
It's a bad movie, Joker, but somehow Joker still had certain situations where I could say the cinematography was okay, or there was something okay. Joaquin Phoenix is trying his best with a poor material. In this case, in Madam Web, it's almost like it's not a movie. It's worse than all. In a way, it's worse than all the other movies that I've seen. As I was talking with a few friends today, Joker may be the most disappointing based on expectations because you really wanted it to be good. But Madam Web is probably the worst film out of all of them.
Okay, and on that bombshell, let's move on then.
I just want to add one thing about Madam Web. If we ever want the entertainment industry to get better, to improve, we need more films like Madam Web to bomb like that. We need more of them, not less. So it done something good. That was a battle we won.
Shogun.
Shogun
was good, yeah.
I've never seen it.
It was good.
It was good?
I thought it was very well made, this miniseries, whatever it was.
This is gorgeous. It looks lavish and beautiful. The textures of it on screen are fantastic. The acting is great. Apart from Cosmo Jarvis, who kind of grated with me quite a lot. but it's beautiful, and it could also be in its quieter and humbler moments, and its little character beats and moments. It was also great, and some of the imagery and the spectacle of people moving, towards palaces and stuff like that was just breathtaking, and you would almost like want to take still shot images of it because it was so good. So a genuine standout show.
Ooh.
Like if you take Kurosawa and then you add modern film techniques and technology and just So if anyone hasn't seen this, they should go out and do so. It's a real treat.
Have you read the book, Echo?
I haven't. No.
Right. Well, the book is, I believe, 1,400 pages long, thereabouts.
Wow.
And it takes a long time, obviously, to get going. It's all from what's the guy's name? The pilot. I can't remember his surname. It's all from his perspective anyway, and how he's trying to get on. The book was more interesting because in the show they gave you perspectives of all the characters, or a lot of the characters.
Yeah, it's John Blackthorne.
Yeah, Blackthorne. Yeah. But the in the book, it was all it kind of emphasized how alienated he was, because you were kind of learning Japanese with him. He was compiling his own dictionary, and you were learning Japanese with him as you were going through the book. You were really getting into it in that way. And then when you got to the end, I think that Clavel just kind of had written himself into a corner, so it ended it really fast. So you went through everything nice and slow, and then it got to the end, and it was like, and then they had a big battle, and everybody was happy, and that was the end.
Yeah.
And I thought they would have fixed that ending in the show, but they didn't. It was surprising.
Yeah, it was very strange, wasn't it? Towards the end, very terrible.
They did kind of punt the ending a bit, but yeah, still Hiroyuki Sanada, amazing performance.
The ending was the one thing that needed improved. It was the one thing.
Yeah, it was like I spent months waiting for a huge battle at the end of this, and months waiting for a huge battle at the end of House of the Dragon, and I got neither. I got huge battle blue balls.
It's like,
but there's going to be a season 2, Echo. You're going to love it.
That's a mistake.
June 2 didn't have a big battle at the end. It's almost like they didn't film it.
Yeah, that sucked as well.
Okay. It is. Okay, that's Shogun, everybody. Season 2 on the way at some point. Recommended, by the way. Oh.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Dune, June, whatever you want to call it, part 2. March.
Well, as Bryce and I were discussing last night, this was my biggest disappointment of the year. I wanted this to be so good.
It wasn't the worst movie that I saw this year, but I agree with you that I think, especially with Shawnee's character, what they did with her, I don't especially love Zendaya's performance as this character. I don't think she's well cast, and I don't like the changes that they made to the character to make her kind of more of a quote-unquote modern 2024 real-world woman. I didn't really need that, and I feel like they were trying too hard here.
I didn't. I thought it was okay. I didn't understand why everybody thought this was genius filmmaking. It wasn't. I couldn't connect with any of the characters. It was very, very clinical. It was just
soulless.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Chalamet either, but I will say that I thought that he was trying harder. Zendaya really was the weak link.
Yeah, she was.
2024's most compelling and enduring mystery is the collective delusion that Zendaya is a sultry, alluring sex symbol.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's so strange. In Challenges, she almost looks kind of ugly, to be honest with you.
Well, the reason why Hollywood's doing that is because she's a woman of color. End of story. That's it.
No,
woman of color. She's light enough that she can go in movies.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Yes.
She's a woman of color, though. She is a woman of color.
She has that.
She fits into a lot of check marks that they want to do. She kind of is. She's sort of a woman of color, but she's also kind of very light skinned. So they feel like they're getting the best of all worlds. Sometimes they like it when somebody is sort of ambiguous, because they think they can reel in a lot of different people. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I don't really care It's just that I don't really think that she's as stunning and beautiful as they think that she is.
No.
And in addition, her acting isn't great. So it's not a good combination for me.
But Hollywood is trying to push these people, aren't they? Like Denzel Washington's son, he's not a leading actor, yet he's been in 2 leading films. And I just think, same thing with
nepotism.
Zendaya's got a permanently frumpy bottom lip.
I don't think she's. I think she's very average.
Frumpy.
She's not that good looking.
I have a theory about this.
I'm
developing.
That's about it.
I'm developing this theory. I think that it's actually in Hollywood at executive level, they've created a formula where someone who's half Caucasian and half Latin American or Hispanic, that they can get the biggest audience just purely by demographics and numbers. So Rachel Zegler, like half Colombian, Oscar Isaac, half Guatemalan, Diego Luna, half Mexican, Pedro Pascal, half something.
Yeah.
So that's their formula now, is half and half. Exactly like that.
Yeah, someone else, it was Archer Collin in the chat, was saying she's the female Pedro Pascal. It's not wrong, Archer.
Yeah. What's that film where those 2 tennis players fancied her or something nonsense like that?
Yeah, that's
God.
They need glasses. Just give them some glasses. They'll be fine.
You whacked an eye with a tennis racket.
Yeah.
You go, question, Duke 84 Wrench. Can we agree on Rebecca Ferguson being a 1?
No.
I'd give
what
her
I
1.
will say is that her and Timothée Chalamet is the weirdest mother-son pairing I've ever seen.
It's
so
weird.
strange.
Yeah,
it gives me such weird vibes.
I got more of a mother-daughter vibe. I'm not a fan of Chalamet at all.
Yeah.
I didn't watch these films because I just can't take that guy seriously as a lead man.
I'm not going to see that Bob Dylan film because that era of Bob Dylan is so culturally sort of significant. It's got a real allure to it that I don't want anything to impinge on that.
That's Mangold's film, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got nothing to
Walk
make
the Line
out
was
of it.
fantastic.
Yeah, but oh gosh, we're living in a different era now. So just saying, it's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work. I mean, do you know what really pisses me off about Hollywood is that when they want to revere people, they want to revere people like this director. He's one of the worst directors going, in my opinion.
Denis Villeneuve.
He really is. If you cannot connect with any stuff that a director does, then they're not good. They're not good at all. And I don't think this guy's like, I watched that Arrival one. That was shit. I couldn't connect.
I had a bit of time for that film. I think that film had a bit of tension to it.
Couldn't connect with anyone.
But Ian, don't you think that he should be like the DP or the cinematographer? That he should be the director?
Yeah, Orson Welles said it a long time ago. He said there's loads of directors in Hollywood, even now, obviously not even now when he was speaking, when he was alive, that gets away. They don't know what they're doing, but they continue to work, and nobody can see that they're inept.
Yeah.
So,
like Ian, it's like saying I don't want Roger Deakins to be in the director's chair. I like him exactly where he is,
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
MC Wrenched, Sicario is excellent.
It is good, but then how much of it is him? That's the question. You can tell good directors, right? Look, a good director isn't a film that you enjoy. You got to point out what he's done in the film, direction-wise. From the shots that he does. Anyway, I'll stop there because I don't want to keep going on about it.
Okay, so that was June, or was it Dune, or whatever? Just massively disappointed with it.
Yeah, I thought it was as flat as your tonic water, basically.
Yeah,
the director. It's all down to the director, isn't it? I mean, why does Spielberg films work and Denis Villeneuve's films is very flat? It's all down to the director.
Okay. Kong X something.
Godzilla.
Oh yeah, X Kong.
This is a movie that after I posted my review, I had a bunch of people unsubscribe from my channel.
Oh dear.
And I didn't even give it a failing grade. I just said that I thought it was dumb, that whoever really is looking for this kind of monster movie but without any real depth or story or anything, then it's fine. but I just said that the storytelling was poor. I didn't like the characters. There were a lot of things there with that lady. There was like a girl boss and a lot of dumb, even kind of modern day propaganda shoved in there. I didn't like any of it, and people got really upset. But that's the truth. I mean, when I look at Godzilla -1 and then I look at this thing, what can I tell you? This is it's not in that league.
Yeah, there were some hardcore defenders of this movie out there. But it's just, it's popcorn fare or whatever. It's like, that doesn't mean it has to be stupid and nonsensical.
It was fine if you just want to see some monsters battle each other and you don't care about anything else. It's fine for that, and there are people that's what they want, and I respect that. But if you're looking for any kind of decent storytelling, any kind of character arcs, really anything, you don't get much of it here in this movie.
The thing is, though, I respect people when they disagree. You know why? Because they're thinking. Right, they're thinking about the film, and if they disagree with you, that means they thought about it. Even if they come to the conclusion that just doesn't make any sense, at least they're thinking. I hate the sheep people, where basically if the drinker says something is bad, they automatically go, it must be bad, and then follow through. And going back even further in the 70s, if Siskel and Ebert said something was bad, they wouldn't go see the film. Those are the people I don't like. The people that disagree with me,
I totally agree with you, Ian.
You know what I mean?
99% of people, Mega. That's 99%
I
of people.
totally agree with you.
They repeat talking points for the bigger channels, and they do not have an original thought of their own.
Yeah.
Whatever
Sorry,
whoever says is what they all believe.
Yeah. Sorry.
What I was going to say, Mega, is that I agree with you 100%. And recently, I put up a review for Wicked that, for the size of my channel, it's getting pretty decent views. And a lot of the comments, or at least I've noticed a number of comments, maybe even on streams, a few people wrote that to me later, that they said, well, the drinker liked it, so why are you saying you don't like it? It's like, I respect the drinker, and if he likes it, it's fine, but I don't have to like it. I said I didn't like it. I explained why I didn't like it. And you have people melting down, like the drinker said he liked it. We're not the same person. I could still have an opinion that's different from him, even if I do respect him, which I do, but it doesn't mean I have to have the same opinion.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
One of the cool kids, if you want to be one of the cool kids, you need to have the same opinion. That's how it works.
No, cool is me saying whatever I think, and if you're cool, then you follow. Then you can continue to hang out with me. And if you want to run away and unsubscribe because I said something that somebody else said that they did like, then I got nothing to say. I mean,
I'd always say this. Before the internet. When I was into Star Trek, there was this bar in Victoria called the Star Trek Bar. I remember once going in there, right, and they had TVs around. They were playing, whatever Star Trek thing it was, and I had an argument with this guy I'd never met ever over Star Trek. Right, we almost came to blows. Right, almost came to blows on one. I can't remember what the subject was. And then 2 weeks later, I went back to the same bar. I met the same guy, and he brought me a beer. Do you know what I mean? So. Again, right, I respected his view.
Page's Bar.
Okay, because he thinks about that. Do you know what I mean? And I believe that's something to respect. Do you know what I mean? That's his view. But the thing we didn't do was we didn't freaking have a fight, or we didn't, try and cancel each other. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's daft. I think people should think for themselves, man. Anyway.
Can I be controversial? I am sick looking at Godzilla. There's been far too many Godzilla films over the past few years, and most of them have been absolute shit. And Godzilla Loves Kong is the stupidest fucking idea for a film. Fucking Infinity Gauntlet Kong, just fuck off.
I think the first one was okay. The second one, not so bad. I just kind of started losing quality from there.
It's like Batman versus Superman. I know hundreds and hundreds of people that loved that movie. But for me, that movie sucked. It sucked big time. But they
the long version's okay. I liked it.
Yeah. I can't stand people that actually follow people or their view. They just copy somebody else's view, if you know what I mean. It's like, you're not thinking for yourself, are you, mate? So that kind of thing. But anyway.
Okay. I think we're going to finish there. That was Kong x Godzilla x Kong. Okay. 2 CGI, if anything, but that's just me.
Irie.
Those are folks. Chat, Happy New Year. Great to see you this evening. Thank you for the interaction. The super chats. Thanks to Mog for being mightily generous with the memberships. Chat, you are the best. Let's hope 2025 is going to be a good one. So great to see you, folks. We will see you next time. I will get the guest up. Melvin Deeply. Cheers, my friend.
No bother, Brunt.
Price of Reason. Cheers, Price.
Cheers.
Echo Chamberlain. Cheers, Echo.
Good to see you again, Brownie.
See you, mate.
I'm doing an album, and if anyone wants to help fund it, it's on Indiegogo. You can just go find Echo Chamberlain there. And
We've got a link. Post it in the Doodah quickly.
An album of what?
An album of just cool pop rock with a bit of folk in there as well. It's going to be super awesome.
You're a singer?
So, yeah.
Is a
Triple
sinner.
threat.
I didn't know that. I'm something of a musician myself.
Oh, great.
Is that from a movie?
It's from Spider-Man 1, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Echo, do you want to throw your GoFundMe link in the chats quickly?
Well, I'm on Firefox, so that means it's the whole thing where I have to faff around with other stuff. So I can't.
Okay,
It's just on the Twitter page or whatever.
Okay, I'll post it in the comments afterwards,
That'd be
folks.
good.
So, Echo, it's great to have you on, mate. Been far
Good
too
to see
long.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so it's good to see you all again.
Desk. Cheers, Desk.
Hey, it's been fun. It's nice to have 4 in a row. Let's see if we can make it 5. And I need to go and take my bins out as well, actually.
Yeah, I've got to take the bins out. That was the old fella. That was real life. Off. Cheers, Ed.
Yeah, no worries. No worries, guys.
And last but by no means least, the channel's very own astromech droid. It is Professor Artoo. That is it, folks. We will be back. We will be back to continue with the 2024 stuff. So until then, look at that. Super mod.
There you go.
There you
Nice.
go. There you go.
Thanks, Melvin.
That's it, folks. We will see you next time. Happy New Year. Take care, everybody.
Bye.